lovely people. It is Tuesday, the 16th of August. We're actually on episode 80. We are.
All right.
We are doing the great things here. Was that 16 weeks? I told you I got an A maths. Well, welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. We are hosted by very lit people. So we're going to introduce ourselves to you. So I am your favorite shade queen, my own royalty.
The voice of reason, the oracle, big man use.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
Amen to that. That burgundy's making your melanin pop today.
Thank you.
Absolutely love to see it.
I did it for the people.
Of course. What's everyone doing today?
Yeah, I'm cool, man.
Yeah?
Good,
Yeah.
man. Mm-hmm.
I feel like the energy's a bit low this week with us.
It will rise.
It will rise. Amen.
Mhm.
Amen to that. Brent, how are you doing over there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, E-Man can.
I am fine, thank you very much. I'm not lying about how my day is, like the rest of the boys.
Are you calling us liars?
No.
I said
Rest
my
of the
day
boys,
is
rest of the
8:30 in the morning. Nothing's happened.
I'm a morning bee, so I
Nothing has
am
happened.
at my best right in the morning. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been
Can
that
I
way
say,
forever.
I don't believe the video is live on YouTube.
Is that right?
So I think everything I've been doing all now,
Well, it's live now.
they haven't seen my greeting.
Nice job, bro.
No, it's alright. It's fine. You can just say that. That's fine. It's still recorded for the people that send it.
That's so funny. Okay, do you know what? Is it definitely live now?
It's Devil Live.
Okay. I just want to tell people to subscribe. I don't want to tell nobody to subscribe. So everyone watching so far, make sure you subscribe. Also, I want to tell you about our network, the New Black Network. We've been telling you guys about community for so long, and it's half up and running. It's running actually, but the TDA part is to come, and that will literally be next week. But if you would like to join our community, type in community.thenewblack.com, and when it tells you, it prompts you, to put your name, all that great stuff. But also when it prompts you to download the app, do so, because it's just a lot easier to communicate with everyone else in the community. It's really, really cool, really lit. We'll give you guys a full rundown next week about how we'll be using the interactive community space for the New Black, and of course, you guys are extended TDA family. So we'll let you guys know all that great stuff next week. But in the meantime, register, get used to the app, get a good feel so that next week we hit the ball rolling.
Lovely.
Yeah?
Lovely.
Lovely.
Esther.
Okay.
Tell your boss to put the light on you.
Yes, can you put the light on me, please?
Oh. Okay. But you look very, 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 very
That's
light
great,
right now.
Brent. I like the light on me.
But it's okay. I'll make you lighter.
Thank you, Yusuf.
Right.
Brent, you're half awake today, isn't it?
Huh?
You're half awake talking about people's day. You didn't have the mic thing on.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't start live on properly. I had no lights.
Also, TDA song's not behind it.
Ah, look,
No, I don't
Brent.
want that.
you
Oh, does
want
it? Okay. Anything else? All right, let's get to our first headlines.
Okay, people. After the sun comes the thunderstorms.
Ugh.
Yeah, man. Thunderstorms are hitting the UK and weather warnings are in place as the spell of hot weather draws to a close. The Met Office says there's a risk of torrential downpours causing travel disruptions and some flooding. 3 days of alerts have been issued for most areas, starting yesterday and ending on Wednesday. Some parts of Devon and Cornwall have experienced flooding after stormy conditions brought heavy rain showers and hail to parts of the southwest. Temperatures topped 34 degrees in parts of the UK at the weekend, as you lot know, and experts have said a lengthy period of rain is needed to end the drought declared in parts of England on Friday. These areas include Devon and Cornwall, Kent and South London, East Anglia and the East Midlands. Heavy rain is unlikely to ease the drought because, as reported yesterday, rainwater struggles to permeate dry ground, meaning it will run off the dehydrated surface and lead to flash flooding in some areas. Yellow weather warnings for thunderstorms are in place across much of the rest of England, including the north of Scotland, the rest of the UK, pardon me.
See, Esther, I told you, August is dry, man. Wet
Listen,
weather.
June can never enter the chat.
Yes, it can.
With June,
Yes,
you
it
cannot
can.
enter. You cannot
Yes, it
enter the
can.
chat.
June
You and
is-
Gina cannot enter
June
the chat.
is synonymous with summer.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's spring,
Yes,
summer.
it is. Yes, it is.
Context for the listeners, right?
Yes,
So
it
we
is.
were on We were on Meet Us After 7 a couple of weeks ago. Check it out. I was listening to the Sunday's episode actually.
Yeah.
Probably.
Thank you.
But we're talking about which months is the littiest in the year.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like August, of course. I can't lie to you, man. You could not. You're in November.
That's because mine is unanimous.
No, it's winter.
100% winter.
It's winter, sir. It's
It's
winter.
a different type of winter.
Your melanin can't even. Your melanin is capped in winter.
November is one of the
Skin all
deadest
ashy.
months. No one cares about November.
Trust me.
Whatsoever.
That's a lie.
So I'm so sorry. So you really can't enter the chat anyway. But then Yusuf and Gina are like, oh, June is it. I said, me and Mark's like, June?
When has
June?
since I've been alive, when has August ever been a month that people celebrate?
August is lit. August is when you have the bank holidays, when you have the barbecues. Like August is a lit barbecue.
You have barbecues in June as well.
Barely.
What do you mean barely?
Your sausage could get wet because it's about to rain.
Aren't
you're
we reporting thunderstorms in August?
Yeah, but this is just a
Thank you.
one-off.
That's
Did
not
we-
one-off.
did we have thunderstorms
this,
last year?
this is a
Last
yearly
August?
occurrence.
I'm
No,
not
it's not.
I'm not going to lie here.
No,
In fact-
Iman, if you're not going to side with me, I want to hear it.
In fact, people in the chat, what month out of June and August would you consider a real summer month?
Yeah, more so.
Brent, you know
summer.
what it is?
Yeah.
A poll, please.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Type in now.
Because I'm not having it. I like June.
No one growing up
June?
associated August with summer.
June.
Summer is summer is the last of the three, right? So it's the end. It's the end of summer.
But that's the thing I think is peak because I think June is still spring, summer. Summer starts in July, August, and then
we
September
read
is
out.
like
we
fading
read out
out
the
October to autumn.
definitions. It's not spring, summer. You're
You can't
making
really
this
believe
up.
everything on Google.
It's not Google. It's whatever website she got it from.
That's even worse. Some ICT
Google is just a
student in
search
year 9
engine.
did that.
It's a search engine. A
Mm-mm.
website.
No, we ain't doing that.
To be honest, I've never ever thought of June as a spring
Yeah, not
thingy.
spring.
Always
Who
thought
thinks it's
summer.
spring?
If I'm just being honest.
Everyone
Today,
associates
just
June
be
with
honest.
summer. Everyone does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just think, okay, if I was to give you that, I would still say August is a lithium month.
What for?
Because
parties
sometimes
or
June
something?
is cold sometimes in June. But August is hardly, like if we're going to have heat waves, we're going to have proper sun, everything is always in August. June can be cold. I've definitely worn
And
jackets
so
in
can
June.
August. It's cold
August-
now. It's August right now.
Yeah, but this is like, how long have we had? We've had sun for like time now.
Yeah, but this is
I'm
not.
tanned
Yeah,
and all
but this hasn't even been good sun. This has been some heat wave pandemic thing. This
It's
hasn't been
better
like.
than the rain in
This
June.
hasn't been enjoyable for me.
It's better than doom in
No,
in June. I can tell you that.
June wasn't cold this year.
This year, but typically June is not really the time for. Do you know? I know as well because my sister's birthday is in June, yeah,
Mm.
and she's like, "Oh, I want a barbecue," and we have to literally pray to God that it's sunny
No,
because
I
we're like,
don't remember any rain in June in my whole entire life.
okay, now you're being dramatic.
I haven't.
It's
It's def-
I think
It's
Esther's
def-
right about
it's
that.
definitely rains.
Sometimes in June you get. Yeah,
It's just
'cause
chilly.
I thought about that.
What?
It's giving Nigerian hammer time.
What year and
season.
day did it rain in June?
How much?
Exactly. You never know.
How
You
am I
never
gonna
know.
remember that?
Tell me.
When I come
Tell
to
me.
Sweet-
Tell me
I
what
have
day
bread-
and year it rained in June.
I come here
Tell
every
me.
no.
Tell me. I can
come
tell
here
you.
every
I
day.
can tell you what year it rained in August.
Don't say
August the
excuse
15th,
this year.
2022. Yesterday it rained.
All I'm gonna say is, yeah, this is how you know as well because we never really get complaints about drought in June.
Drought. What do you mean drought?
Like we're commonly complaints about drought, and why does drought come, Eman? Because it's been sunny consistently.
No, it's
We don't get that
This
complaint
hasn't been
in
sunny.
June.
This has been extreme, dry, humid heat. Hasn't been enjoyable.
It has.
It hasn't been. You've enjoyed this.
Of course, I've enjoyed this. I'm a summer baby.
You've been complaining all.
Big up
2
me and
weeks.
Mugs. Who's been complaining?
You've been complaining about the heat, man.
Now, one thing I don't do is complain about heat because I know the cold is around the corner. I never complain.
This heat hasn't been.
But you know what's crazy? I wanted to ask a question, yeah.
Mm.
So you see how it says the rain is gonna struggle to go into the ground or whatever.
Mm.
Is that because it needs to kind of wet itself first, kind of be a bit moist,
Yeah,
and then it can go through?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's just so dry that it will literally just hit and just
And
go
just
like cement.
Okay.
I
Okay. All right. Let me
Yeah.
see what the people are saying in the poll.
was just about to check that.
No, let me.
You
check.
said other. What, Brain? We didn't
Oh, this
follow
guy.
the instructions you're given.
These
sir.
polls this guy
But
does, you know.
other is still more than June.
Exactly. June is currently 16%.
Yeah, but
August is
putting other
64%.
there doesn't make sense. You should have put an actual month. You should put July or something.
Nah, because then there's other
No,
like
but it was
9.
just two that you guys were contesting, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
why put other?
Just
See?
to see.
you
Yeah,
know
but,
what?
yeah, but what is the other they're talking
It
about?
doesn't matter.
It does matter.
See, big up yourself, Warren. Warren Parkinson. He said July to
Don't worry, I'm
September
coming
is
to cuss
summertime.
everyone in the live anyway.
September.
Yes.
September ain't no summer.
Sometimes it is, you know. It's
What?
October's really when the cold sets in.
Summer when the leaves are all down. Like the leaves are on the floor.
No, that's in October.
In September.
That's October.
You sure?
Listen, I like autumn. I enjoy autumn. Autumn is October. So you get the boots out.
Obviously, September is when it is that the children go back to school.
Go back to school, yeah.
Yeah.
But
And sometimes they go
can't
back
be
to school
summer.
and they're still wearing their summer uniform. Yeah.
Nah.
Brett, no, you should have put July rather than other. But
Exactly.
those are the three contested. Those are the three official
Again,
summer months.
you guys were just contesting June and August. That's why I put June and August. And then I saw add another option. I was like, oh, that's nice. Let me put something.
Yeah, but
Okay,
yeah,
so
but
you
should
said,
have
"Oh, that's nice."
yeah, but should have used your brain.
I can say, oh, that's nice. Let's try that. Let's see what that's about. Now, big up all the August babies, man. And big up people that know that it's even you're born in another month, but you still know it's August.
That's a
Sugar
June.
vibes.
June is wedding season. That's not weather.
It is.
Warren Parker.
No, but that's because it's wedding season. But even then, you can't wear like a proper wedding outfit. You don't know if it might rain. I said what I said.
Someone said
And the streets
September is officially summer.
What's the official
What?
September? is officially
Ebony
summer.
Onyx.
Ebony Onyx also said November is technically autumn as well. See, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
No, I know. I never said it wasn't autumn.
November.
Because it's autumn. I think from December is when winter then kicks in. So December, January, February, March is like a June where it's like it crosses into two seasons. It's like a winter, spring, and then you have April, May, June, spring, and June is more of a spring summer. Listen, I
Stop
know the
saying
weather.
spring,
I know my
summer.
things.
Stop saying spring, summer. You are not the weather lady.
Spring, summer. It's spring, summer. Shout out all the Real Housewives of Atlanta viewers. They know what this. They know where this reference is from. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. All right, okay, let's get into our next headline.
Okay,
This is a losing battle. August 1.
All right. So the next headline is about emergency alert systems, right? I'm not sure if you guys. I can't remember the name of this film. I think it's got
Is it one about the day, the world ending?
yes,
Is that 21st or something, or the last day or something? I know what you're talking about.
something like that.
Yeah,
Anyway.
2012.
What are you talking about? Is it a British film?
No, it's American.
Yeah, I think I know. Okay, while you talk, I'll
It will make sense when I read the headline, innit?
yeah.
And then maybe people know what I'm talking about. All right, so an emergency warning system allowing alerts about severe weather and other life-threatening events to be sent to mobile phones will go live in October in England, Scotland, and Wales. The Cabinet Office says the technology will likely alert up to 85% of the population, which is an estimate for the population of the UK that has a smartphone that's capable of receiving these type of messages. The messages will be sent automatically to any smartphone which is switched on, although it's possible to opt out by changing your mobile phone settings. Trials of the alerts will be held in Reading and East Suffolk this year. A government publicity campaign will begin in September, and every phone in England, Scotland, and Wales will receive a welcome message in October. The system will eventually cover the whole of the UK, the government says. The Cabinet Office says the alerts, which will look and sound different to standard messages, will be able to give highly localized warnings of flooding, fires, extreme weather, and public health emergencies. Terror attacks will also be added to the list of potential scenarios to trigger a message. At the moment, officials chose to not discuss the arrangements for warning the population of an impending military or nuclear attack on the country. So yeah, in that film, I'm trying to remember if it's what's that white guy called, man? The one who does all the Bournes. Hammond. No, not Hammond.
No, not Ben Affleck. His partner,
Matt,
Damon.
that's the one. Yeah, I think it's him. I'm not too sure, but basically, yeah, it's kind of like the film that Esther was describing. Basically, yeah,
Yeah.
he, the main guy in the show, he's ex-military or something,
Okay.
and so he's kind of privy to certain things, right?
Mm.
And so there's only a certain amount of people that get these texts. So
Mm.
maybe they're of extreme importance to the government
Yeah.
or to human survival in the future, one of those things. innit?
Yeah.
And so they kind of get allowed to go to the secret bunker or whatever.
Mhm.
So
He was an
basically,
architect or something, right?
yes, I
I
think that's the
swear
one.
that was that guy who was in 300.
Oh,
yes.
The same guy from.
Thank you.
What's that?
Not Russell Crowe, is it?
No, it's not
hold up,
Russell
let me
Crowe,
Google it. Let me Google it.
What's that
'Cause I
dope,
watched that.
dope
the other
movie
day.
he's in, man?
He's in Law Abiding Citizen.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh, what's the guy's name? Yeah, Brent on Google.
His name is on the tip of my brain.
You're right, Brent. That's the guy. Thank you.
I
So
love
ba-
that I know myself. I'm not even trying.
And basically,
What's his name, right?
Gerard Butler?
That's
it,
the
that's
one.
it, yeah.
Thank you. So
But you're slow, bruv.
Brent acts like he's got a BC from 2002.
No, but I'm looking at his screen and
The
the guy is
Microsoft
right
voice.
there, but he's not saying his name.
I was waiting for the Queen to basically get the funds.
just letting the black woman talk.
100%.
Mm.
I'm gonna remember that. Because one thing about you stay interrupting me. I'm gonna remember that.
And so so this guy's randomly there, I don't know, fixing dinner or something.
Mm.
And and then he gets a text saying, yo, da, 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 da. No one else
Greenland.
gets it.
Is
So
it
he's-
Geostorm?
Greenland is the end of the world.
Is that the text he gets?
Greenland.
Greenland.
Yeah, it's called Greenland.
Is that the
Oh,
film?
okay, yeah, it's
Yeah.
called Greenland.
Okay. Are you sure you're just going off?
I
what
can't
Brent's
remember the
saying?
title. I can't
You
remember
have
the
30
title.
seconds to see if your cat's like.
What's happening?
But basically,
Greenland don't sound like a movie that is about the end of the world.
Because this one is. There's another one called Geostorm. How did the world end?
It's,
Was it a storm?
it's
I don't
definitely
think it's
Greenland.
Oh, okay.
Definitely
It's not
Greenland.
Yeah.
Geostorm, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
anyway, so this guy gets the text, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, nobody else gets it. So he tells his wife, he says, "Look, we need to pack up. We need to get out of it ASAP."
Mm.
But he's telling them quick, right? And they're not taking it like super, super serious.
Okay.
In a sense where she knows obviously it's a serious thing because
Yeah.
of obviously who he is, but still kind of taking her time because
Mm.
nothing's on the news yet and stuff like that, right?
On the news,
Exa-
maybe he will
exactly.
be dead and gone.
Then it comes on the news.
Ah.
This is when obviously the neighbors start panicking. Everyone comes
Yeah, 'cause
out.
not everyone's trying to go out leave at the same
Exactly.
time.
And then remember, they don't know where to go. So they're not really leaving. They're just coming out panicking. Then they
Mm.
see him and his family packing their 4x4. Obviously, like, wait a minute, where are you guys going? What do you know that I
what
don't
you
know?
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's when obviously they kind of inquire. He tells the truth. He's like, "Da, da, da, they gave me this text, da, 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 da." And then you got neighbors saying, look, take my child, do, da, 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 all this type of thing. He's like,
Take
"I'll
your
your
child?
Yeah.
It's
obviously like-
tell that to me and Brent. Your child. Fuck them kids. Take your child.
Because they're thinking, look, we're all doomed, innit? At least let my child live. And then,
Ah, dear.
am I meant to do a spoiler alert, by the way?
Nah, it's fine. Go.
Ain't no one care about this movie.
I know what to expect now. Like, I'm going to watch it. I know they're
Spoil
gonna...
away, spoil away.
Yeah, keep going. That's
And
just
then,
very good.
And then basically, eventually the guy makes it. Well, as in gets in the car,
Yeah.
they start going to wherever they're going. But along the way, there's all types of trials and tribulations in it.
Well, the world's ending.
Because you get these other guys who kind of gang up to try and, like, basically get. I think what they're trying to do is take people's phones so that they can actually go to the base and actually escape,
Oh.
something like that. Yeah. So obviously he's trying to keep it to himself, protect his
Mm.
family, try not to look like he actually,
knows what he's doing.
exactly. And then he loses his family at one point. They get together at one point. He tries to go to the base, even without the phone or something like that.
Yeah.
To try and convince them, look, just take my family. Long story short, how does it even end?
I don't know how it ends. I'm gonna watch it.
exactly.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
keep
how
that
it
bit.
ends, yeah. But yeah, it's a decent movie, man. It's one of them films you just watch once, though. But yeah, it's decent.
Yeah.
So
Do you
did
believe
did
stuff
you
like that?
just watch it? Or something?
Huh?
Why are you telling us about this?
No,
'Cause it relates
didn't
to
you
what
hear
you
the
said.
headline?
You weren't listening, were you?
Brent.
I should have read. He listens to Black
Yeah,
Women.
about the alerts and whatnot.
It's the
yes?
same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
So
why did you tell us this story in detail?
because it links to it, Brent.
I'm not gonna lie, I logged out of this story about 5 minutes ago. I was like, where's the link?
You see why black women need to be listened to? Because
Thank you
only
very
black
much.
women listen to black men. You see that?
Also,
Mm.
for this emergency
Yes, you
alert,
already agreed. It's too late.
I heard that they're not, if you got the Android, they're not giving you the alert. So switch to Apple, please. Ain't no Android getting no alert.
You get it when the world
That's
is
a
done.
lie, man. It'll be
Yeah, that's
Android,
good actually. I'm gonna watch that.
Nokia, then Apple.
That's a Nokia, you know.
I'm gonna watch that. But do you think, that is true? I believe it is.
Believe what is true.
Like, if there was stuff that's gonna happen,
Mm.
the elite would actually have a
Yeah.
way to escape.
I believe that.
I watched the film not too long ago, actually, in the cinema, I think it was. And the world was like, oh, the world has been destroyed or whatever. And then, but there was a way they could preserve their life, preserve themselves to then appear in the next, to be in the next world.
That sounds like a familiar concept, but
Mm.
It was this year as well. It was in cinema. I
Oh,
can't
is it?
remember.
Well, I definitely haven't seen it then.
Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah,
check the comments.
I really believe that would that's a real thing.
Yeah, I believe that too.
I really believe that.
I think that's the reason why Marx wants to be upper class.
He needs to be. And then that way, TDA definitely gets an alert.
Maybe.
I feel like Mark's a pick and choose. He can take.
All right, so
We'll be like, this one makes too many jokes. Can't come along.
So question, Emmanuel, right?
Yep.
As you saw in the movie, only had a certain amount of space in the car. Yeah.
Yes.
Are you taking these neighbors' kids,
If I got space, maybe.
knowing full well that when it is that you reach, well, you didn't know that
Boy,
if it
you
is
gotta
reach
take
the
care of
border, you wouldn't be able to go through.
Say that last
When it
bit.
is you got to the border,
Yeah.
they only allowed your family through, right?
Mhm.
Right, and then even if it is that they had an ailment, they would be left behind. Yes.
Yes, thank you. That was a good one. Yeah.
Cool. So when you get to the border
Mm.
and you have people's kids there,
Mhm.
would you leave them and take your family, or would you stay with everybody?
I'm taking my family, man.
So you're gonna leave the kids there?
What? The neighbor's kids?
Yes.
100%.
All right.
The
okay.
neighbor needs to die with their kids, innit?
What?
Yeah, because obviously it's better that way, innit? The last people you see and whatnot die as a family.
Listen, you took the kids away from the neighbors.
No, I wouldn't do that then.
So you.
Yeah.
So you just leave them there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because I can't lie to you. Like,
Why separate the family?
I don't know what the situation's gonna be. Respectfully,
Mm.
their liability.
This is also true.
Because I don't know what the situation is on the other side. I might even have to pick my favorite child to come with me. I don't know what the entry requirements are, and there needs to be an adult. Do you get me? So it's not a thing where I can just send my kids and be like, "You guys go forth, be great."
Mm.
How are they gonna navigate life? They're kids; they don't have a clue.
Hold on, how much space on the boat?
No,
They're going to
it's just your
Greenland.
car.
It's not a boat. It's like
Oh.
to get
A vehicle.
planed to it,
It's
flown to it.
It's
Yeah.
a boat situation.
Yeah, it's just difficult. I think it's difficult. I'm not taking my neighbor's kids.
Yeah.
All right. So also one of his children had some ailment, and he had to go back and collect the pen or something.
yes.
medication.
Yeah, the medication.
All right. So what are you doing there? Are you sending your family on and then going back for this?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
good,
If I don't make it there, I don't make it. But at least I try.
I need a husband like that.
Yeah, man, because I can't be doing that.
I wouldn't get.
And suppose one of your, because this will happen, one of your children weren't allowed to go through.
Mm.
What are you doing?
It's a tough one.
It's difficult.
It's a tough one. I may stay with them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely.
I may stay with them. To be fair.
What the rest of your family?
Yeah, they can go, innit?
There's 3 children,
Mhm.
right? One of them, the one you just had recently.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's gonna make it easier for you. The one that's the oldest, the one that's the oldest, has the ailment.
Hmm.
Just turned 16.
So I know
Bit
that
of a
nigga
man.
for longer.
Bit of a man.
What?
And they call you by your first name.
What?
Stop it. Brent always throws that in all the time.
That sounds like an opportunity to me.
The nigga, I've been wanting to let you go.
Oh,
You say,
man.
go to the bathroom quickly. Come back, it will be here. Do you know, actually, when I think about it, though, it will be sad to like leave one child behind.
Yeah, 100%.
One parent have to stay with the child.
Yeah, I don't think I could live properly like going forwards.
Go flip a coin. Do you know which parent's going to stay back?
Oh, is that what you're doing, Emmanuel?
I mean, equality.
Flicking the coin, leaving up the chance.
Equality, innit? This is what they want.
Wow.
Hey, the black woman knows
I'll be
best.
honest, you know what? Wow.
Amen, brother. Amen.
While you're deciding about flipping the coin, blah, blah, you be seeing the back of my braids. I'm gone. If you think I'm sitting here to be doing heads or tails with you, you're joking me. I'm out. All the best to you and the kids. Me and my new husband will name the child after you. What the heck? Someone said it sounds like War of the Worlds from your description.
No, it's not that.
With Tom Cruise.
That's Tom Cruise now.
Yeah, okay. In it, why Brent always got to add extra narrative? Because Brent loves it, man.
Yeah, Marcus is not here today, so
He absolutely loves it.
no extra spice. Thank you.
That is so funny, man. All right. Let's get into what you saying, our topic of the day.
Okay, so today's topic of the day is how bad is social media? Now, this is mainly for you guys here because obviously, I'm a rookie when it comes to the social media game. But
Catching up, though.
I'm trying. You know, I've got good people to inspire me. I'm not too sure if you guys know it, but the Spider-Man actor, Tom Holland.
Zendaya's man.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
Well,
you know
that
who
guy.
Zendaya is?
Yeah, you know that the actress, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Euphoria, all that stuff.
That's it. She's good, man.
Yeah,
good.
she's a babe.
But yeah. So basically, he's come out. Yeah. Had a video on Instagram. I saw it actually, but then obviously I skipped it. I didn't know what it was about. I can't be listening to all of that. But anyway, he's come out and said he's stepping back from social media. Yeah. As he finds it can be detrimental to his mental health. Like Selena Gomez, he also kind of discussed how sites like Twitter and Instagram can be very harmful, right?
Yeah.
So in his video, like I said, he said, verbatim now, I find Instagram and Twitter to be overstimulating, to be overwhelming. I get caught up and I spiral when I read things about me online, and ultimately it's very detrimental to my mental state. So I decided to take a step back and delete the app. So today's question is, guys, what do you think about that firstly? And also, as people who's been active on social media for years, can you understand where it's coming from? How do you guys maintain your mental health online? Do you schedule breaks? Have you experienced certain things in life where on social media where it's like, you know what, I definitely need the time out here, man. I need to be off this thing for like a week, 2 weeks, a month maybe, because you can kind of just see where it's heading. Like, how do you guys? What's your experience like?
I think it's a very smart thing. I always say to people, I find it weird, yeah, if you've been on social media for years and you've never taken a break. Because this is how I think about it. I think of my mind, my brain anyway, it's like a sponge. So
A sponge.
a sponge. It's not doing me. Don't make a scene. It's like a sponge, right? And it just absorbs, like it consistently just absorbs things. And so sometimes even on social media, I could scroll past something, but I haven't interacted with it. Like I haven't clicked on it. I haven't read it. I've just seen maybe a picture or whatever, and I just scrolled past it. And then subconsciously, like 2-3 days later, it would come in my mind, or I would dream about it. One time I knew it was crazy when I dreamt about SpongeBob. I had no business dreaming about SpongeBob, but I'd seen something, and I just scrolled past it, and then it was in my mind. So I always say to people, you have to take a break. It's not healthy to be on platforms where you're consistently soaking in other people's lives, other people's, especially Twitter and stuff. You're soaking people's opinions, people's like thoughts. Like even sometimes, and obviously on there, you don't really have trigger warning the way you ought to have it, right? So sometimes you just click on something and it's just a madness. It's not healthy. So I always say people should definitely take a social media break. I think it's smart that he's done that. Especially someone, I think it's more difficult when you're someone who has to like promote stuff, and because I can't lie to you, if I wasn't creating content, I don't think I'd be on social media. I can't lie to you. I really wouldn't. But I'm mainly on there because I've got to promote stuff and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's smart, and it's very smart of him to know that this is something that's contributing to my mental health. I do think it definitely plays its part on our mental health. It could be good, bad, whatever it is, but it definitely has a role that it plays the same.
If you're a celebrity like Tom Holland, obviously you're gonna have negative, positive comments all over the gaff. So having to, depends, if people at you, then obviously it reaches you directly. But people search their names. Yeah. And just read what's been said about them, innit? And imagine going online, typing your name, and there's thousands and thousands of thoughts and opinions about you, whether good or bad. It's gonna have an effect on you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely feel what you're saying. I think breaks are important. For myself personally, similar to Esther, if I wasn't, in the content creating space or the media space, whatever, I wouldn't be on social media as much. I do find it to be quite exhausted, not in terms of, me soaking in the information, but me having to stay relevant, having to stay on there. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you, sometimes I just say, I can't be bothered, bro. I just want to delete that app. I only use it because I have to, not because I really want to. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm the same.
Yeah, I do find it kind of draining.
Yeah, I definitely find it draining.
Yeah, I do find it draining.
It's interesting you said that actually, even like the pressures to kind of stay relevant, like like this is what you gets more engagement, and post your picture at this time.
Yeah, sometimes I just don't give a shit.
Gosh, I don't care. But it's annoying. Do you get what I mean? Like even just this weekend, I can't be on here. And literally, when I tell you, I kept logging off, but it's annoying because then I'd have to look at something. Guess what? I have to go look it on Instagram or whatever. Do you get what I mean? It's just like it's so in our lives that is very, very hard.
Yeah, you know what's so mad? It's actually become, it's too engraved in our lives. Yeah. It's actually, when you really deep it, social media Instagram in particular, I believe more so than, to be fair, Twitter and Instagram, you could put them on an even kill. To be fair, it depends on who you are. Some people are more active on Twitter, some on Instagram, it depends on it. But I feel like it's too engraved in our lives. To where if you removed it, you'd actually feel a void.
Yeah.
And that's what's scary.
Yeah.
I want to have a life where if Instagram was to go tomorrow, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what I want. You know what I mean?
Question to all of you. Have you all ever been like popular? Have you all ever been used to people admiring you guys, holding you guys up in high reverence and regard? Because I see social media as just an extension of what life was before, right? And for me, I can never get overwhelmed with social media because
I'll bring your belly on
Yeah,
there.
but Brendan, you don't use social media in the same way.
I do use it.
In the same way?
Are you talking about tweeting and posting pictures?
Oh, you got a burner account?
No, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
What you guys were just talking about
from my observation,
was consuming.
You don't use social media. No, that was Esther.
All right, what was the Tom Holland thing?
So he basically said that it said it's overstimulating, it's overwhelming, and he gets caught up in when he reads stuff about himself.
Yeah.
So the consumption of it, right? Taking it in.
Yes?
Yeah,
but it's more so about reading stuff about himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Have you guys spent a stint of your life being popular? Did you all know this from before?
What, that social media Saxon?
No.
What?
I don't understand the question.
No, what?
Have you ever been popular?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever, when you say like, what did secondary school look like for you? What did university look like for you? Was there a long period of time when it is people looked at you like you guys were wavy?
I would say in university, yes.
Okay, I would say every part of university I went to hiding, so no. But like in my 2 years before that, yeah.
All right, cool. So you spent a long time having people adoring you, yes?
Yeah. People that I'm used to, yeah.
You know what it is? Your choice of words is making it seem more grand.
Yeah, but in my mind it's not. Like, it's just
I'm not a celebrity. I don't believe I've been adored by the masses in my previous life. Yes, I've been popular in university, but you're describing this grandiose scenario.
Yeah, so Tom Holland is a celebrity, right?
Yeah.
And he's being talked about en masse, right? Because a lot of people know who he is.
Yeah.
So he's popular now, yeah?
Yeah.
This is the connection I'm trying to make.
Okay, but he's extremely
Yeah, but your connection is kind of skewed a bit.
It's a wayward parallel because he's extremely popular and you guys aren't. But I have to start somewhere, yeah?
Okay, babes.
So for me, I've been used to people like showing me attention.
No, we
right?
know.
So even if it is that I don't have my pictures anywhere, I am fine with how I interact with social media because I'm used to anybody showing me
love.
Love and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I take what I want to take. I leave what I want to leave.
Yeah.
I don't care about anybody else's opinion.
Okay.
I'm used to it. I'm dead to it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it for me, social media could never be something that literally I need to now take time away from because I don't engage in it in a manner in which it consumes me.
Do you know what it is though? It's not that I and I don't want to speak for Yusuf, but it's not with me, it's not that I engage.
Yeah, I think we're all describing a different plight here.
Yeah,
100%.
because
I'm asking a question to start the conversation.
Because you know what it is? Okay, for me, yeah, even just being on the app, I'm not tweeting people back or whatever it is, but even just reading what foolishness has come from someone's brain,
yeah,
I'm just like, I don't like. This is silly to me.
Yeah.
So do you get me? So it's just for me, it's more like it's just what is anyway. Whether I actively, taking. I think when you're on social media, you do consume everything that's on there because you're seeing it. I think seeing it is a form of consumption, right?
Yeah.
But whether I then engage, that's a different kind of situation. So even in my not engaging, I still find it weird that I see stuff about people that I don't need to know about them.
Yeah.
Especially in this age now where people need to let us know every single thing they're doing.
Yeah.
When you go to the toilet, I need to know. When you've just bought a new house, I need to know. When you just bought a new you just tried a new Tesco wrap, I need to know. When you're having sex, I need to know that. When you find a new condom, I need to know. All of that stuff, I don't care. Do you get what I mean? So for me, it's like the only reason why I'm on social media is because of what I do. I need to be there. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
do y'all curate your own feed?
Okay, that's what I'm about to say. So
yeah,
what you just described and what you're describing different from me. I don't have an issue with what I'm consuming because
Okay.
I curate what I consume.
Yeah.
If you go onto my explore page,
Yeah.
it's football, basketball,
Yeah.
music, trainers, Marvel.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Because that's what I consume. Fitness.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with what I'm consuming.
Yeah.
Because I follow who I want to follow.
Yeah.
I search for what I want to search.
Yeah.
My algorithm has created to my interests.
Is this Instagram or Twitter?
This is Instagram. I
Okay.
don't really use Twitter. But
See, yeah, I think
I use it a little bit and it's the same thing. I follow who I want to follow. Yes, black Twitter tweets infiltrate my timeline because of retweets and likes, but for the most part, it is what I want to see.
Yeah, see, so what I'm talking about is I'm talking about Twitter. Instagram doesn't affect me. Like Instagram literally does nothing to me. Seeing someone, because just sometimes people are like, oh, when you see people celebrating good stuff and whatever, it can affect you. I think I've got a very healthy relationship with Instagram. I would say I've got a healthy, but Twitter, for me, because on both platforms, I know I follow who I want to follow. I interact with what I want to interact with.
Yeah.
Like, I've definitely built my timeline to be what it is. But with Twitter, it's easier for it to be infiltrated by things that I don't want than Instagram would be. Do you get me? Because Instagram, I'll just unfollow or whatever it is. But even Twitter, like that's why I say I block and mute so easily. I don't like animals. I don't. Every time I see a cat on there or like a parrot or a bird, it makes me itch. So I'm be blocking people. Do you get me? So I can't. With Twitter, you can't control what it is that's going to be on there. There's a lot of things I don't want to see. I've got so many muted words. I've even spot them wrong because some of y'all can't spell. So literally, like, I've taken every single precaution that I possibly can. Even down to like when Power was on. I muted everything down to the directors because I was like, I don't want any spoiler alerts, but I can't control things because sometimes I might follow my friend, but when my friend decides to retweet, now that's on my timeline. So for me, I find Twitter. I think Twitter is more. I think Twitter, for me personally, Twitter is more damaging for my mental health than I would say Instagram is, because Instagram is pictures, is videos. I don't have to watch it, and I could easily It's not that, but I think with Twitter, where it's opinions, it's people's thoughts, it's all that stuff. It's very weird to me, man.
And how do you detox?
I just deactivate. So like when we go on the Christmas break, I'm not gonna be anywhere to be found. Like I literally, you will go and search me one day and try to send me something, and I've just deactivated.
So you won't kind of put your content out there, how you looking Christmas, this, that, and the third?
No, I don't care. I look great. I don't know that is fine. Because you know what it is? I think I had to get to a point where because I'd only want to just. Again, so basically me deactivating is my way of checking out of it, right? And it's something that I have to do. I need that. I need to wake up and not reach for social media and not think about it. Like, just live in the moment, just do whatever it is I'm doing, right? So usually the whole cleansing routine I do, whatever. Sounds very dramatic, but yeah. But I got to a point where I was like, oh, but I need to promote the pod. I need to do this. And I was like, actually, no. So I got to the point where I was like, pod or not, it will be promoted somehow. The No Shade page is there. I will log on. I'll literally deactivate my personal pages. I'll log on. I'll post the pod, make a post, do whatever it is I need to do, log back out, and that's it. Do you get what I mean? I had to create a healthy balance, because if I always sit there and think I've got stuff to promote, I will never leave the place, and I need to. So yeah, I just deactivate because of obviously TDA is a daily stuff and whatever. That's why I haven't been able to deactivate. But what I'm going to start doing is literally on the weekend. Even that is difficult. I was joking with Iman the other day, and I said how I feel like during the weekend I'm the only one who's got homework to do because that stuff happens over the weekend.
Huh? Not me. Who has to do?
Sorry, I forgot. You used to do
whole
5 hours.
rotation. Listen to 8 hours.
Sorry about that. Forget. But I was saying how like stuff happens over the weekend, and I take screenshots and I send stuff to myself. Like, so you know what I mean? So even when I want to really check out, I can't, because sometimes I would have missed the whole Murad feet situation.
The thing is, the unfortunate reality is, because of what we do, we have to be on social media. It's literally our bread and butter, innit? And my issue is not, like I said, with what I'm consuming. My issue is the pressure of having to stay on there, be active, put out content, constantly thinking of ways to grow your audience, gain more followers, gain more traction. All that stuff is annoying for me, I'll be honest with you. And I go through stages where I'm on it, I'm planning, I'm active, then I'm like, I can't bother for a bit. I just kind of chill. So I'm kind of inconsistent because I go through stages of being on it and not being bothered. And it's just about me finding that balance. And I don't really deactivate my account, but I might be like, you know what, I'm not going to go on Instagram for a few days or just take some time out from it, because sometimes it can be a bit too consuming, but
yeah.
it's part and parcel of what I do in it. So I have
Yeah.
to kind of embrace it. And for the most part, I do. And don't forget, follow me on Instagram at Big Man Use. You know what I mean?
You're an egg. Ebony asked, what benefit does Twitter have for SS podcast? So with my pod, yeah, like I don't, obviously we might talk about, trending topics or whatever, but we mainly link stuff to like social issues and our life stuff and that kind of conversations. So I feel like Twitter is where I think I get inspiration of like things like life stuff to discuss from Twitter, I would say, more than Instagram. Because again, Instagram is just pictures and stuff, and my feed is mainly like hair and nails. Really, it's all manicures.
Boring.
Sorry, sir, you have football and
Okay. That's a football like that ain't lit.
Sorry, do you know how nice it is to see freshly cleaned cuticles?
Are you comparing football to nails?
I love it.
You carry on talking.
So my feed is mainly what's it called? Like manicures and manicures being done and like beauty stuff. That's mainly me. But on Twitter is where I get to see like life stuff. So someone might tweet something, I'm like, oh, actually, this is a bigger topic that we can discuss. And then we discuss the bigger topic and blah, blah. So yeah, that's why Twitter is quite relevant for me, I would say.
Someone said, would you ever get someone else to run your social account?
Yes.
Hell no.
I would.
Hell no. I need to be controlled of that shit.
I've always said that when I can't wait to get to, like, my career is popping enough for me to be able to have a social media manager. And absolutely, where they get to promote, because again, remember, I'm there to promote stuff. So
I know, but it has to be me,
get
man.
to promoting, babes.
Has to be me.
So why does it need to be you, Yusuf?
Because it's my page, it's me. I have to write the captions, they have to come from me. I have to choose the pictures. I know when I look good, when I don't look good. You don't know.
But you know what though? That's why if you have a social media manager, so for example, you take pictures. This is what Wendy Williams should do, right? She would take pictures and whatever, and then because she wasn't the one in control of her account, basically, like she had someone dealing with all that stuff. So say she took a picture of her dinner or when she was out with her friends or whatever. Take the picture, send it to the person, and then let them know the caption to write. So you're still in control. Everything, nothing can go off.
I might do it myself then if I'm going to give her all the instructions.
Because that person goes on there. No, but again, remember for me, I don't want to consume anything.
Yeah.
So me give it, because if I go to post stuff, I'm seeing stuff. Do you get what I mean?
No, that's the look.
That's the look.
You open the app, yeah. You just go to your page and you go to post. You don't have to go on your timeline.
Yeah, but
you just go to post.
Yeah, but wouldn't you care to be like to see the comments you get and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's comments on your post. Aren't you talking about what's happening with your followers and your stuff like that?
Just in general. In general, social media. Honestly, Lord, see what you've done for others. Just make me big enough that I can honestly have a social media manager. I really will. It's the first thing out of my life.
All right, so would all of y'all in here say that you guys are innate creators?
Yeah, so.
Define innate.
It's natural. It's natural. It's from
Inherent.
The first time it is that you had a consciousness of your place in this world. You wanted to create.
I think for myself, yes. I just wish I knew how to draw and stuff. I'll be way more wavy.
Mine is singing.
If I could put all the ideas in my head on like graphics or drawing, I'd be sick.
I think I grew to realize that was me. So
right.
yeah, the way I was raised was different.
So the reason why I ask is how would you now look at social media where it serves you more than it hinders you? Like in my particular position, I love when it is I put stuff out there that I've created for critique and for praise. I love that because there's always a question mark as to whether it will be received. Or from the feedback, I can learn to be better.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I enjoy everything that I do and everything that I put out. I enjoy how it touches people.
Yeah.
And I enjoy how it evokes emotion in people, whatever that particular format is. So I love the fact that there are different platforms where I can put that stuff out and get that live emotion. Because I feel alive when it is that this happens. And if it is, I'm not doing that, I am in myself dying. So for me, social media, I love that because I get to, I guess, reach more people than I did when social media wasn't around.
Okay.
It's like a larger platform. It's like a larger speaker box.
Yeah.
So for me, the perfect balance would be for me to be able to help people not be influenced so much negatively from the critique that they get when they put stuff out. If they are creators, honestly. I think that their experience of social media will be much different if it is that it doesn't hit them mentally so much. If it doesn't drain them so much.
Okay.
Because one could say if you're a creator, you just want to create and not have to interact with the people that you are putting the stuff out there for. And I hear that. I am not like that. I actually want to know that what it is I'm saying, what it is I'm doing, what I'm making is actually hitting. And I love to see and hear that it has helped.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I think for me being a human being, that's important. So I continue, so I get better, so I can be better. Do you understand?
That's exactly how I feel as well, man. Like the whole handling, I guess to some degree, it depends on how big you are in it. Because if you're like Tom Holland, and you've got like
you're huge,
millions of people,
you're massive.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
different.
Like, it's different. But at this stage, like being able to interact with people message you and talk to you about the show. And
that's fine.
I think that's amazing, man. You know what I'm saying?
I have no qualms with that. Obviously, I've been podding for years, and obviously, I'm interacting with listeners, good and bad. You know what I mean? Like even the other day, we had a listener say, since you guys announced your pod ending, you guys have become lazy. This last episode was like
last episode was lit.
No, not the one when he was bleeping and clapping and all that stuff.
Okay.
Well, you see, what you did just now, that was wayward.
What?
When he was bleeping, why was there bleeping and clapping?
Because you kept bringing up stuff that was off
What
pod.
was it? When you say I kept on bringing up stuff, do you know what we were talking about?
Was it me or you?
No, it was
Brent.
Gina.
No, it was you and Gina.
I
mainly
was bleeping out the stuff that Gina. What are you talking about? It wasn't me. I was saying.
You were saying half the stuff that needed to be bleeped out. Or bringing up.
Look,
okay, cool.
On next Sunday, I'm going to release the version without the
No,
see what happens.
no, you can't release. Okay, well, you know what?
just blame me.
Okay, release it.
He wouldn't. It's Gina.
If you release it,
You wouldn't
who's going to get on the Who's going to go on the fire? You or me?
Gina.
You and Gina. I'm
It
fine.
could be me.
Release it.
How can
Esther,
it be me?
I'm happy with the uncensored version going out. I didn't say nothing wrong.
Not uncensored. You heard that.
I'm happy with it going out. Pull it out. Pull it out.
People who don't know what Meet Us After 7 is, because he made us know it's his podcast. God damn.
Pull it out. No, pull it out.
I will.
All right, cool.
Do you know what I do want to say? I absolutely love like the people obviously engaging with even like my pod,
Yeah.
TDA. I like that. That's all fine. Whether it's like bad stuff or it's encouraging stuff or it's criticism. I don't mind all of that stuff. Even the YouTube comments, I'm fine with all of that stuff. But for me, I struggle to live a life where I get to see what people's minds are like. I don't have the capacity to deal with that.
That's Twitter for me. When I just see stupid
it's
tweets
just
and stuff,
too much.
Like, shut up.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I struggle with Twitter, because I shouldn't have access to your mind in this way, and I don't want to have access to your mind in this way. So do you get me? So I've been muting. I don't know. I just can't, man. But I enjoy the part of what's it called, of connecting people who interact with like content I put out and whatever.
Yeah,
I love that. I absolutely love that part. But that isn't just what my social media is for. Do you get me? It's not a review platform. Unfortunately, I get other weird things and other things that come with it.
So the struggle of staying relevant, Yusuf, is what you said that burdens you a bit, right? Sometimes you just don't like doing that routine, right? Is it Instagram specifically?
Yeah, because I don't. Everyone knows I don't tweet, so
Yeah, you don't really tweet.
yeah, Twitter is for me. I just read and stuff.
But if it was to do with music, just that kind of stuff, would it be much more enjoyable to do that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I guess it's just taking pictures and stuff that you're kind of
pictures. You know, even like reels and whatnot. Yeah. If it was music, then it'll be different because it's easier, I guess. Yeah.
Emmanuel,
Brent,
you've dropped off the map as it pertains to social media, and obviously you're now looking to build it back up. Obviously, you would like your words to reach far and wide and to influence positively and in some cases negatively regarding polygyny and whatnot. Obviously, we don't like that kind of message on TDA.
It's not negative, but
yeah,
anyway.
okay. But you want to get to the point where you can put something out and the world basically can move to it, right?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Just imagine if you had that power.
Mm.
Esther, is that something that you would advocate for? Just imagine if you had the influence of how do you say Professor Elijah Muhammad? Is that what he said?
Who?
Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Also, I mean to ask you, what's your are you
What do you call it?
Elijah Muhammad, bro?
It's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
The
ask
most
you,
honorable Elijah.
The most honorable. I knew there was
Are
another.
you practicing Christian?
Yeah.
Oh, but
You
you
know.
but you have interest in nation.
I thought he was the whole time.
Like, what's your official religious status?
Esther said no, I'm not.
He's fluid. He's fluid.
No, I'm Christian.
No,
Yeah.
he's not. He's fluid.
But okay,
Wait, let him answer, man.
thank you.
he's
Yusuf.
gonna lie to you.
I just have I'm heavily influenced by the Nation of Islam. Though.
Okay.
So that whole line of Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Farrakhan,
yeah.
Khalid, all them people there, the 5% Nation.
Do you find there's a conflict there? Being a Christian, but also having affiliation with
I can
not affiliation, but
Mm.
embedding yourself in the teachings of nation.
It can be, but some of the teachings in the nation, to be all the way, like, obviously, without being disrespectful,
Mm.
some teachings I don't necessarily believe.
But do a poll. Do people think Iman was Muslim or Christian? Because
Yeah, actually, yeah.
because
No, do a poll. Can someone be Christian but also follow the teachings of the nation of
So-
Islam?
Yeah, for real. This is a good
but
question.
Lance, it's
One
no.
of them.
They're good
It's not a
questions.
question.
Why?
It's a good question.
Oh, that is
But the answer's obvious.
It's kind of
No,
long-winded,
why?
but it's a good question.
You can't.
Why can't you?
Because why how?
Because you remember, like, to be Christian and to be Muslim, the two are not compatible, right?
Yeah.
But to be Christian and subscribe to some of the teachings of Islam, it's definitely possible. 100%. Like, for example,
Also, the Nation of Islam, that was founded in 1930. It's not,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's-
It's not
it's-
historical.
and it's, you know way more about it than me, but it's
It's not Orthodox Islam.
not about, I can't, how
It's
can I
about faith.
describe it? It's a subsidiary of Islam. It's not from the Quran.
Okay, there's like a history.
It is.
It is, but how can I, like, it was made in 1930. It's not, it's new.
I like that Yusuf got the date right, you know. I'm impressed by that.
Yeah, no, because I was talking
Okay,
about it with
first
someone the
of
other
all,
day.
let's relax here. So I'm impressed by that.
Yeah.
No, because a lot of people
say
do.
stuff
I don't
like
mean it in a
that,
bad
Yusuf,
way.
that you just found out the other day.
No, I did.
Don't say it though, because he's
Why?
impressed. He's not impressed
I
anymore.
don't care. I'm not trying to impress anyone. But yeah,
Yeah, it's
Someone said, can't lie, I was trying to work out what he was for weeks.
to be fair, I was gonna ask you this question the other day, but I just
do you know what it is like? Because I guess like I was saying earlier, right? If you're a Christian, like fully all the way believe in the actual tenets of
Yeah.
Christianity,
Yeah.
it's not compatible. I would say, from my opinion,
Mm.
like with Islam, following 100% Islam and Judaism, for example.
Yeah,
But with the nation, I gravitate mainly to their pro-black stance.
okay.
Okay.
That's what it is for me. Islam to me doesn't give me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the discipline of Islam, the prayers 5 times
Yeah.
a day and things of that nature, right?
Yeah,
But the nation of Islam is geared towards the upliftment, betterment, and liberation of black people.
yeah,
And that's what I gravitate to.
okay.
All right. So Nightfall asks, "What's today's mathematics?"
Jeez, what day does it say? Today is the 16th. So today's mathematics would be knowledge equality or being born to God.
What does this mean?
The thing is, I see you more of a nation member than a Christian.
What is this? What does that mean? What's maths? I don't get it.
Wait, did you just make it up?
No, he
Or
said
did they
it.
ask it?
I was
Yo,
actually gonna
big up
reply
big up Nightfall, man.
I was going to reply in the
What's
the
today's
comment.
mathematics?
big
That's
up
like,
Nightfall.
it's like a Nation of Islam thing.
Oh, is it? Do you know,
But hold on,
I thought it
where's-
was-
Triggers all
But
that
where's
5%.
where's your suit and your bean pie?
Because I hope. I'm joking. You know what I think? I would love to be part of the FOI, you know.
What's
So
FOI?
The FOI is the fruit of Islam. So basically,
Okay.
it's
Why don't you just cross over, man? Like,
it's
to me,
it's
when
a long
I look at
story.
you, I don't think of a Christian. I think of someone
Mm.
who's nation, like a Black Panther.
No, because Brent,
You know
what
I
was it
mean?
he said to us the other day? Something about he brought up Jesus.
Why do you keep laughing?
And I can't remember what you said.
This is such a what? Can you imagine him looking at you and saying, "Well, look at you. I don't look don't think Christian. I'm like,
No, but I don't.
What would you say? Well, he's
Yeah, but-
loving it. He's
yeah,
like, oh, thank you,
Yeah,
brother.
I don't think.
I don't take
you
offense.
take
Thank
offense
you.
to it.
No, yeah, of course he doesn't.
Because I ain't saying,
And that
I
speaks
ain't saying I think you're a heathen.
No, but you know what it is though? The fact that he's not taking offense to it, respectfully, so is part of the argument that you're not a Christian.
No, but what does it mean to be a Christian though?
Not you.
No,
But that's funny. So I need this mathematics because he was giving me like you know when the Gworls that are
Gworls.
believe in this what's it called, astronomy, and they're like, oh, my
Okay.
moon Mercury's on its retrograde, and is that what is it?
I didn't know we had Brother Musoon on the show.
You say what?
I didn't know we had Brother Musoon on the show.
Was that a comment?
Brother,
Yeah.
Comment. Brother Musoon.
Yeah, I know, bro.
Oh,
I
who's
can't
Brother Son again?
remember where he's from.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, big up Nightfall, man. Yeah, basically,
Ever since
I'll-
Esther's lost, I'm
I'll try and
clueless.
I'll be very simple with it. Basically,
I learned so much about you, every
But
week.
do you believe in the notion that they believe that every man's a god in it?
no, it's
No.
basically it's based on
What is it
the
again?
first lesson.
Do you believe you're a god?
We
You're asking a lot of questions, you know.
exactly. It's a lot.
Wait,
It's a lot.
wait,
Ask the
wait.
question.
I'll
I'm so
the first.
intrigued. I can't believe this.
The first one. That's the
It's
first one.
based on the lessons, right? So basically, the lessons, right? When Master Farad in 1930 came, right, and basically started the Nation of Islam, he had
Yeah.
Elijah Muhammad, right?
Yeah.
He gave him a bunch of lessons,
Mhm.
and these are basically questions that he asked Elijah Muhammad to answer. And all these questions and the answers basically is what the foundation of the Nation of Islam is built upon.
Mhm.
The 5%ers, to some degree, are kind of like an offshoot
Yeah.
of the Nation of Islam. So it
Yeah.
was started by Clarence 13X.
Yeah.
And he was in the mosque under the teachings of Malcolm X and things of that nature.
Mhm.
He kind of went off.
Yeah.
And he basically went off with the teachings also.
Mm.
But he interpreted it in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
And so basically, the first lesson that basically Elijah's asked is, who is the original man?
Yeah.
And he said the answer is, the original man is the Asiatic black man.
Yeah.
He's the maker, the owner, the cream of the
Yeah.
planet Earth,
Yeah.
the father of civilization and God of the universe.
Yeah.
And basically, that is the alignment to how the black man should see himself, especially in his civilized state,
Yeah.
right? And basically his connection to Allah.
Yeah.
But Allah not seen in the conventional sense of
Yeah.
how Islam,
Yeah.
Orthodox Islam would be.
Yeah.
But Allah in the black man, arm, leg, arm, head. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And that's basically how it
But to
comes.
be a member of the nation, even 5%, what's your ultimate belief though? Because obviously you believe in God.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the fact that I can't even call it religion. What this group was
They
cultivated,
wouldn't even call it
was
religion.
cultivated when it was cultivated.
Yeah.
You know this is not attached to ancient teaching. So
That's fine.
so then in terms of okay, cool. What I'm trying to say is in terms of heaven and hell,
Okay.
yeah. What's
Mhm.
what's the belief there?
They
Because
don't believe-
Allah doesn't
okay.
recognize the nation of Islam. He doesn't recognize the 5% nation. So in your head, like, what is it?
My question would be to you, how do you know Allah does it?
Oh, knock it off.
No, it's a genuine question.
I don't know, but
Okay, all right.
but it's if you look at the lineage of Islam,
Mhm.
where does it? It's not in the Quran.
Yeah, but remember the Quran, respectfully.
The nation
is-
of Islam and the 5% nation, like we said, was created in 1930. So
Yeah.
it's not in the Quran.
No, but
No, they've taken teachings
Yeah.
and hadiths and
Mhm.
but they've cultivated their own religion based off of the Quran.
yeah,
So
but at the same time, I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I'm using that same principle. Islam, there was a time when there was no Islam. Now, according to the Muslim, they don't believe that, right?
Mm.
But there was a time when there was no Quran. History would just tell you that. Before the 6th century, Muhammad didn't exist. There was no Quran.
But okay, cool. If I read the Quran from front to back right now,
Yeah.
and took all the philosophies and teachings that I liked and cultivated my own religion and group
Yeah.
in 2020,
Yeah.
and then in 50 years' time, I had cultivated this whole following,
Mhm.
that was based off of my wants and needs and desires.
Facts.
So, am I making sense?
Yeah, 100%. That's why I don't say it's Orthodox Islam.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I could then say to you, okay, using that same logic again, if I'm Muhammad and I'm from Saudi Arabia and I see the good in Christianity and Judaism, which is around me,
Mm.
and I take my teachings from it, then it's not Christianity, it's not Judaism.
Okay, cool. Let me make a simple example then. The Quran says you should pray 5 times a day.
Yes.
So in my nation of Islam that I created,
Mhm.
I felt like, you know what, 5 is too much. I'm going to do 2.
Yeah.
That's
So you
not,
created your own nation of Islam.
no, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's not in the Quran. So
Yeah.
my that's what I can't articulate what I'm saying
Are
properly.
you basically trying to say that it's not real Islam?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I the only difference is I wouldn't call it not real Islam. I would
Yeah.
just call it their version of Islam.
And that's what I'm trying to say is
Mhm.
to be someone who's in a nation,
Yeah.
you're not looking at being in a nation as your ticket to paradise.
Mm-mm.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
You're not in a nation thinking me being a nation means I'm going to heaven.
No.
It's more of a way of life. But
Fact.
you still separately believe in Allah.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? That's kind of what I mean. Yeah.
It's more so how what's influenced how I navigate life.
Yeah, how you
Now.
that's kind of what I want to hear.
Yeah. Exactly. That's it.
Is that more important, like religion, if it is still able to penetrate and inform life now? Is that not more important than just it being historical record?
Yeah, I believe so. Because like if your religion doesn't help you in the now, I don't see the point of it. I don't see the point of it. This is why, again, the nation it means so much to me because to me, from as far back as I remember, I've always had an affinity, right, towards anything that is towards, I guess, the upliftment and betterment of Black people. That's why the Nation of Islam speaks to me. That's why the 5% ideology speaks to me. That's why Marcus Garvey speaks to me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if Christianity, for example, doesn't satisfy that, I'm not saying it doesn't, right? But I'm saying if it doesn't, then I need to get that fix elsewhere because I believe that need for me to gravitate to something that uplifts Black people is there and is there from God. You know what I'm saying? So I need to get that somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Why is Ebony Onyx saying that I'm treading a very thin line? I should be careful.
Ebony Onyx, elaborate. What do you mean?
Ebony Onyx, what do you mean by I'm treading a thin line? Elaborate, please. I don't get it.
So do you know what got me? Yeah, someone said the way Yusuf is saying, yeah, like Iman is in the spiritual spot.
So
I don't get it either.
Like he was preaching. Like it's like, yeah,
no,
you were
Yusuf was
agreeing
just following
kind of thing.
along. He was just acknowledging that he was listening to him.
Mhm.
So if there wasn't like hundreds of years of white man degrading and subjugating Black people right now, would you lean to this particular teaching as much as you do? Would there be a need for it?
There may not be a need because, again, even Elijah Muhammad kind of intimates the same thing about Master Farad when he came to speak to people. That message was, I guess, first and foremost for the people of America, of North America, Black people there, because they had just come out of slavery, 400 years of subjugation. They needed something to uplift themselves. You know what I'm saying? He came and saw them not acting as the gods that, they were. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people, wake up. You're blind, deaf, and dumb. We need to rectify this issue immediately. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the Nation of Islam did. And it's still doing.
That's why you still have Christianity in your back pocket, because all things considering, if the world is set back to a right place where there's equality, again, you wouldn't need to basically lean into this teaching.
But it's I don't necessarily see that. I just see it as the things I gravitate to, right? So I guess Christianity will be my core, my foundation, right? But I still subscribe to what makes sense to me, right? And the things that really resonate with me. So again, the Nation of Islam, even Yoruba traditional belief systems, if I like all of these things to me are important. You know what I'm saying? I can't throw it away and just say, oh, I'm just Christian. No, that to me doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Before I was Christian, before I was anything, I was a Yoruba person. I was a Black person. You know what I'm saying? The white man can't just wash my brain like that. Impossible.
So do you see Christianity as the white man's religion?
It's not a white man's religion.
So when you say the white man can't wash your brain like that, what was that in reference to?
Because remember, it's the white people that have been proselytizing, and the Christianity a lot of us see today is through their lens. This is why we see white Jesus all over the damn place. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
All right. Don't worry. Again, as we journey along this TDA experience, you will hear more and more about Emmanuel breaking down different aspects of his life. So we need to move on now.
Oh, wait.
One second. Emily replies. She goes, Yusuf was coming from a very, I don't know what this word is, staunch ideology of Islam. However, if you looked into the nation, you would realize there are more similarities than differences. I used to practice Islam, and even within. I don't understand how that pertains to what I said, but it's fine.
I think. Okay.
Sorry. Can I just say one thing? Because I just remember I didn't answer this question about the numbers, right?
Yeah,
I was
5%.
talking, sorry, I was talking about the lessons, right? Remember, I was talking about lessons.
Okay, yeah.
In amongst those lessons, there was also something called the Supreme Alphabet, Supreme Mathematics.
Okay.
And basically, what it is every number, 1 to 0, I guess, 1 all the way to 9, then 0, has somewhat of a
significance.
Yes, thank you very much. So 1 is knowledge, 2 wisdom, 3 understanding, 4 culture, freedom, things of that nature. So when Nightfall's saying, what's today's mathematics?
Oh, so it's 1 and 6.
Exactly, because the 16th. And you add it together, get the 7th number, which is God. And basically, you'd kind of use that as a way to kind of build on today's circumstance. So today I could be like, today's knowledge equality, all being brought to God. I think it's important that if we have a knowledge of ourselves, that we're equal, that's the very essence of what it means to be God. That's how you express your divinity. You know what I'm saying?
Did hip hop influence you in any way to be or to look into 5%? To look into Nation of Islam?
Not the nation, maybe more so 5%.
Yeah, because I know like Rakim, Wu-Tang, Busta.
Yeah.
I mean they're all 5%. Or they say they are, anyway. Or maybe they have been throughout their life.
Exactly, or being fully influenced by it. Yeah.
Someone said that you're Hotep. Are you?
Me? That I wouldn't consider myself Hotep. You're not gonna see me walking around with unks and talking about, you know what I mean, real Hotep stuff, you know. But again, I see the relevance and the importance in some of those teachings. You know what I'm saying? Like the Nile Valley civilization, all of that. That's the apex of all African, you know what I mean? Like greatness right there. You know what I'm saying? So I can't just, disregard it. But in my everyday life, nah, I don't subscribe to that, if that makes sense.
How about your culture's traditional religion?
Yeah.
Why didn't you lean to that?
I do. I mentioned it. So I don't practice. I don't go and see.
Like the God of Thunder and all that stuff.
Yeah, like I see, because to me, all of these people like Ogun and Shango and
that's actually them.
No, when you said that, I thought 4, innit?
that's probably where I thought inspired from.
No, 4 from
we don't white people see stuff.
mythology, no?
Yeah, but before all of that stuff, again,
4 Zeus.
Yeah, that's Shango. You know what I'm saying?
When you say inspired from, like, do you think it's just myth? Because I have my own theory of that.
What do I think? What is it? I think it's myth.
Yeah, you said that's probably where Thor got.
I believe
the Greeks got their inspiration from. What was your god of thunder? What did you call him?
Shango.
Yeah.
So do you think that the
Shango
Greeks,
is Shango?
like
Shango.
Shango? To the Greeks. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, you did.
Right.
Yeah. Second time you actually did.
All right. Are the Greeks did their teeth?
Oh, 100%, man.
Why people be stealing stuff?
And when you say teeth, is it just again?
Let me not
it's
say
a story. Do you all think it's a story?
No, what you mean?
I basically, right. I believe these people are real people.
Amen.
So Shango was a real man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was once they're laughing over you, and like people.
Like a king.
The king of
please understand. There were
sorry
people on this chat here.
Yo will learn Yoruba because you got 2 people on here. 3 people on here.
No, translate.
4 koi.
Exactly.
You're outnumbered.
Alright, go on.
Yeah, so basically these were real people, but these were people that made such an impact to the beginnings and the foundations of what it means to be a Yoruba people that like they were deified in death. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of these stories that, this is why, again, it's criminal that a lot of the time we keep saying, oh, they're gods and stuff like this. I understand that's probably the colloquial,
language
translation or whatever, but they're not gods. You know what I'm saying? They're more so
deities.
What's it?
Idols?
No, wait.
What are you gonna say?
What is a deity?
A god.
No,
but
like
it sounds like it don't sound like a god.
Demigod. It's like a.
It's like a demi. Yeah, exactly. Not like a little god.
Yeah, like a underboss.
Exactly.
World boss.
Alright, so the Yoruba people will call them Orisha, right?
Oh yeah.
And basically, it's kind of like they are pathways. So like how,
like what, like a representative.
Exactly.
Like,
representative of God, and through whom you can get to God.
Like
you know
a
what I'm saying?
prophet.
You know, yeah. Like they came here, they did a significant work, and you kind of they worshipped him in how great they were. Put it that way. But nobody prays to them, so to speak. Like you pray to the one true God. You know what I'm saying?
The Almighty God.
The Almighty God.
Yeah.
But you reverence them. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
All right,
But
did they
because of
have
the
powers?
translation.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Well, if it is that you're comparing him to Thor, he was quite a wavy youth, no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Shango, when he was here, he had power too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Did Shango have powers?
Oh, 100% he had
what
powers.
powers did he have?
He had the power to, I guess, summon the thunder and things of that nature.
All right, okay.
And he was powerful in war, in battle.
Well, you believe all this to be true?
This is facts.
They have powers.
He had powers.
So you believe in the Avengers?
No, I believe in Shango.
No, not obviously. Avengers are fictional characters.
You guys me, yeah? He's making such a question like he's dead serious. Like he's literally like
Exactly.
serious, like answer my
I'm
question.
joking, No, what I'm saying is you believe that human beings can possess powers,
Oh, facts.
like X-Men and that.
Hey, but
I didn't say like.
but I'm saying we believe in Jesus,
You
no?
believe the
Yes.
Yeah.
And in the Quran, Jesus also had powers, right?
What type of powers?
Abilities that human beings didn't have.
to do what?
What type of abilities?
You could
I'm
heal.
asking you.
What
In
type of-
Islam, what
Yes,
abilities
Jesus
did he have?
and Isa were the same person. Yes. So yeah, whatever you believe, I believe.
All right, cool. So, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
This is jokes, man.
So, in my theory,
Mm-hmm.
I said
Shango,
Ragnarok,
Thor.
nigga. Someone put it in the comments.
Huh?
No, I'm just reading the comment.
What is it?
Ragnarok, nigga. For Ragnarok.
my theory. Only because I'm a Christian, right?
Yeah.
And I have to make sense of all these mythological stories because I do believe that all these civilizations did have these deities that existed.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe that it's all made up by some individual in each of these flipping civilizations and they just passed it on. 100%, I think that's bollocks. I
Mhm.
do believe that they existed back then. I still believe that they exist right now, but
Mhm.
they don't manifest in the same way, right? Now, because I'm a Christian and my human experience is, I guess, grounded in that particular historical catalog,
Mhm.
I feel as though the fallen angels that had superhuman powers when
Mhm.
it is they came to Earth, they didn't just die, right? They existed and they still exist, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, through evolution and technological advancement and whatnot, they have to manifest in different ways. Now, I find it uncanny how this Nigerian deity
Mhm.
has identical powers as this Greek deity. I feel as though they spent a little while chilling in Nigeria, then spent a little while chilling in a different civilization,
Mhm.
and that civilization decided to coin whatever it is that they wanted to coin off the back of their language and whatnot. I believe they moved around.
Mhm.
So I don't believe that it's all different deities. I believe it's the same mother effing fallen angels and mischievous mother effers manifesting their powers, their superhuman powers in different civilizations.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why the whole idea of aliens and whatnot, I fully lean into that. It's not as how society kind of sees or humanity sees it as now they just, were created elsewhere and they came here. No. I feel as though when they came to Earth, and again, because I'm a Christian, I'm basing it all on what it is I believe from the text in which it is that was removed from the Bible, right?
Yeah.
They came to Earth and they spliced human DNA with animal DNA.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Thor is not Greek, he's a Viking. I forgot. Yeah. Sorry, Karen.
Cool. They spliced human DNA with animal DNA, right?
Okay.
And different type of creations were born and whatnot.
Mhm.
In my head, I'm thinking, if we have such technology where we can, from the UK, we can fly to Africa,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And before that time, 100 years before, airplanes were created, that would have been seen as magic.
Mm.
If we believe in a time before this particular man, where angels and demons, fought on this land, and we still believe as Christians that there is a spiritual realm in which it is this madness happens,
Mhm.
why must we human beings be the only ones who evolve and move about?
Mm.
If the fallen angels were cast down to Earth,
Mhm.
if we can go to Mars, if we can go to the moon,
Mhm.
if we can put satellites up there,
Yeah.
you telling me these fallen angels can't exist in the same plane in which it is that they've been cast down to?
Mm.
Why couldn't they gene splice these mother effing animals with human DNA
Yeah.
and take them to Mars I'll be chilling and then come back later
Mm.
to drop in Roswell to start doing the madness. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So my theory, I don't drink. I don't smoke. It's me trying to find logic.
Yeah. How it works.
Yeah.
I get it.
I just need it to make sense,
Mhm.
especially if it is I'm saying I'm a Christian and I believe in this book
Mhm.
is the most accurate
Mhm.
account, even though it's being pilfered and changed of historical reference, right?
Mm.
So yeah, that's my theory.
Okay.
It might be absolutely wild to people, but
It makes sense. I heard something similar where one guy said, you know what, the fallen angels again when they were cast out of heaven, or during the war and whatnot, and they lost. They were angry, so they destroyed the earth, and that was around the time the dinosaurs were there, and that's why they died. You know what I'm saying?
Ask her about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You asked me about
Dinosaurs.
I still don't believe in the dinosaurs. But you know what I'm saying? But people, try to make sense of everything.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Again, Ezekiel's will. People believe, okay, you know what? That's evidence of what? Extraterrestrials. You know what I'm saying? UFOs and things of that nature. So
So explain, sorry, Ezekiel's will.
in the book of Ezekiel, there's there's like a prophecy, a vision that he has, right? And he's had so many different visions, right? There's some about the grave and basically God speaking to him and telling him to breathe life into the bones in this valley and to create an army, right? So like the whole of that book is basically a lot of different imagery and allegory and prophecy. And in one particular section, I guess, there's talk of him seeing a wheel, right? And obviously people are saying that he actually saw a UFO. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, things of that nature. Yeah,
Right, cool. Again, along our journey, we're gonna deep dive into nonsense type.
No, this is good.
We're gonna take you there.
This ain't nonsense.
This ain't nonsense, man.
I like this
Big up the 5%, man.
I'm loving all the
5%ers.
Marvel references as well to all this stuff as well. Did you know that Professor X and Magneto, they were meant to mirror Malcolm X and Martin Luther King?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were created off of their image. Yeah.
How they want the same thing but go about it by different ways.
Yeah, so I believe Professor X is meant to be Martin Luther King and Magneto is Malcolm X. I believe.
Yeah.
So which method? Let's just run around the room just quickly before we move on. Which method do you prefer? Which mindset?
Malcolm and Martin's.
Yeah.
I think I need you to differentiate what they were for me.
Emmanuel.
In a more simplest way, kind of removing the last, let's just say, year or so of before Malcolm X was assassinated. Martin Luther King was more so, let's protest, let's peacefully protest, non-violence, and let's campaign to get ourselves into certain positions and actually bring about, you know what I'm saying, everyone coming together.
Yeah.
And live together in a nice, peaceful society, black and whites, end of segregation. Malcolm X was more so, look, how long does it take for you people to recognize we won't get the justice and equality in this land that you people are fighting for? Let's separate. You know what I'm saying? Elijah Muhammad was like, listen, let's just allocate a certain part.
That is Magneto for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So you're asking us which one we kind of...
Someone said process peacefully. The other person said let's separate.
I would say I probably more
Perfect.
step into Martin's side.
Is that a process person?
Yeah.
I would probably go into the separation side. Just thinking about Yoruba Kingdom, all that separation stuff that's going.
Okay.
I find that would have been more effective, if anything. Because protests don't really do much.
I like what Esther was saying because that's a good reminder of, I guess, how people would have felt in the 60s as well. Around the time when Nation of Islam was thriving under Elijah Muhammad. Because you've got a real life example with Yoruba people where it's like we spent X amount of years being free from the colonizers and we still can't get, still can't work.
Yep.
Are we just going to die here?
Exactly.
And just try and manage?
Yeah.
At what point do we say enough is enough? Let's
Take
just live
action.
separately. We can trade, we can do certain things, but at least we can govern ourselves.
Yeah.
And
Whose philosophy was more realistic though?
I'll be honest with you, I think both are as realistic as the other. I think with separation, you've got a mindset of black business.
Is it
Right.
Martin Luther? Sorry, that wanted to separate.
No,
No,
just
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, okay.
Like even this just came to me. If you look at, I think I bigged them up before on the show before. Brother Ben X, he's a young brother from the Nation of Islam in America, and they've got something called Hair After Farms, and basically what it is they've got black people who are buying land to be self-sufficient. These are the same teachings that Marcus Garvey was teaching us before. Elijah Muhammad was teaching us, because you can't rely on white people and this system, which has failed you constantly and every day.
They're the ones who tricked us put us in this position in the first place.
Thank you. So why do we spend our... Martin Luther King died.
I feel like I'm going towards Malcolm.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Malcolm's calling me.
And again, what did Martin Luther King say? He said what? After a while, he started thinking, I think I'm leading my people into a burning house. You know what I'm saying?
Said that?
This is what he said.
Damn.
He just looked around everything, just thought,
But
this is getting a bit...
both were assassinated. Man.
This is what... There you go. There you go.
No matter what the philosophy was,
There you
both
go.
of them, you know what I mean?
But again, I could argue if Malcolm X wasn't kicked out, or whatever the situation was with the nation, and he was still with the nation, no one's assassinating him. That security is too strong.
Did he go to Becca before or after he got kicked out?
After. Yeah.
And
Well, actually, he went twice, if I'm not mistaken. But the main one that everyone talks about is after.
Okay.
Yeah.
and that particular change of ideology, did it now make him more Martin than past Malcolm?
He still was about separation. But he was more willing to work with other black groups. Before it was the nation. Everything's the nation. You know what I'm saying? We can talk, we can converse, and hopefully you Negroes can come along and see the light. But after that, when he wasn't with the nation, remember he had his own organization. It's like, I don't have these tens of thousands of people backing me like that. Let's see how we can make this work, guys. You know what I'm saying? So he was a bit more willing to sit down at the table, I guess. And he spoke for himself. It wasn't, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that so-and-so, so-and-so. Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that so-and-so, so-and-so. It wasn't that anymore. Yeah, so...
I'd love to get someone from Nation of Islam on this platform.
I've been thinking about it before the show was even before.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
going to
interested.
reach out to... Yes. I'm going to reach out to somebody.
Brother Mazone.
Where's
Apparently
he from again?
The Wire, innit?
Yes,
Yeah, The
that's
Wire,
it. I'm
yeah.
thinking, where's he from?
Yeah,
From
man.
Zone.
Definitely. I think that would be sick.
That'd be
man.
interesting, actually.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
All right. That's great. Let's get into our next headlines.
Okay, people. It seems the UK are trying to get ahead with the latest COVID vaccine. So the UK has become the first country to approve a dual vaccine which tackles both the original COVID virus and the newer Omicron variant. Ministers say the vaccine will now form part of the autumn booster campaign. Autumn? What month are we in?
August.
October, I told y'all.
All right.
Around it might be June.
Moderna thinks 13 million doses of its new vaccine will be available this year, but 26 million people are eligible for some sort of booster. Health officials say people should take whichever booster they're offered, as all jabs allegedly provide protection.
Yeah, I'm about to say. About to take any. No, thank you.
The original vaccines used in the pandemic were designed to train the body to fight the first form of the virus, which emerged in Wuhan in China, as we know, at the end of 2019. The COVID virus has since mutated substantially, with a stream of new variants emerging that can dodge some of our immune defenses. They have caused large surges in cases around the world. The original vaccine still provides strong protection, allegedly, against becoming severely ill or dying, but companies are tweaking them to match the virus as it evolves. Levels of antibodies that were able to stick to and disable Omicron, the BA1 variant, were 1.7 times higher in people given the new vaccine. Tests against more recent Omicron variants, BA4 and BA5 variants, which are causing the UK's current wave, also show higher levels of protection with the updated vaccine. However, it's far from clear, this is what they're saying, it's far from clear that what this means in terms of preventing, basically, it's far from clear what this actually means, right? In terms of preventing someone from becoming seriously ill. So they're saying there's positive results, but if we're being honest with you guys,
You could still die.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? We don't fully know.
Of course they don't.
Additionally, it's uncertain what variants we'll be facing in the upcoming months and exactly how well the updated vaccine will perform against those.
Yeah, because when winter comes and flu hits, boy, I just pray.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody will be okay. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to eat good, man. Trust me, eat good. I'm not trying to tell you what to eat. But if you eat good, man, trust me, man.
As in to aid your immune system?
Yeah.
Boost it?
Yeah, man.
What, are you suggesting veganism?
No, I'm not suggesting anything.
It's vegetables. Get your vegetables and fruits.
Yeah, just get your minerals and vitamins and whatnot.
I had vegetables yesterday for dinner, yeah.
Mm.
Like as in, like, it was on the counter, I was going to cook it. And my sister was like, oh my gosh, are you vegan now? And I was like, no, my chicken is in the oven. Talking about, I could be vegan. I'd be vegan with a sprinkle of chicken. I could be anything.
With chicken.
Yeah.
All right. And the next headline is Labour want the government to sort out Avanti's poor train service.
Labour need to...
Yeah. This is what they do, man. Anyway, so Labour's written to Grant Shapps, who's the Transport Secretary, urging him to take immediate action to ensure Avanti West Coast restores more frequent services on its busy intercity rail routes, or else strip the train operator of its contract. The rail firm, which runs trains between London, Birmingham, Manchester and Glasgow, cancelled another 12 services on Monday morning, on the first full day of an already drastically reduced emergency timetable. Avanti has cut the number of trains between London, Euston and Manchester from 1 every 20 minutes to 1 an hour as part of cuts in place until further notice, and is allowing tickets to be bought only a few days in advance. The slimmed down timetable was supposed to prevent sudden cancellations, something that Avanti blamed on the current industrial relations climate involving higher sickness absence and unofficial strike action by ASLEF members. However, ASLEF members, the entire union in fact, rejected this, saying the rail operator had long been relying on train staff working on rest days to operate their service. The Shadow Transport Secretary, Louise Hay, said in the letter that Avanti's action had caused understandable fury and badly affected local economies, and that it was the most basic duty of a train operator to ensure it had sufficient staff. She continued, "You cannot continue to wash your hands of responsibility, nor continue to reward failure without consequences. Demand a plan from Avanti for the restoration of the full timetable, seek compensation from the firm for services not being run, and if not satisfied, commit to begin the process of withdrawing the contract." It seems that Labour on smoke. And on this occasion, people, I do agree with them.
Labour have been on a good press run recently, you know? Every time I go on socials, I'm seeing Jeremy Corbyn riding what looks like an empty bus, talking like he's sad. And I'm seeing people tweeting like, oh, I can't believe they failed him and they didn't let him come in power. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're trying to, maintain their relevance and stuff, innit? Things didn't look too good when, when they sacked that guy for the pickets.
Mm.
It didn't look good because obviously Labour are known to support the working class. You know what I'm saying?
We're not. Sometimes you people, that's why I say people need to come off social media, because a lot of people get their actual knowledge, like their day-to-day knowledge of other people's opinions. Do you get what I mean? So all people that are saying like, oh, because a lot of young black people really think Labour is the answer.
Yeah.
But they've missed this whole thing. Watch the day after. We tell you about these things. They miss all of that. And then, so there's just seeing Labour, like all these things Labour are doing right now. Obviously, I know why they're doing it, because they're getting bad press. So they're trying to correct it. But a lot of people, because they don't really watch the news like that, they don't know that they've had bad press. They just think, oh, they're still carrying on the Lord's work.
There you go.
You all have been got.
Stay tuned to TDA, man.
That's right.
Every day.
That
Speaking
does
of which,
not mean that conservatives are the answer, by the way.
Oh, absolutely not.
She didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
Just
there you go.
clarifying.
No, I didn't say that. But that being said, do subscribe to our channel. Also, you're all watching. I can see people watching this video, and I don't see the likes correlating. The maths ain't
Likes.
maths.
Yeah, man.
Don't forget, follow me on Instagram. Big man use.
All right.
There's
so.
more people in the chat than there is likes, man.
Exactly.
People,
Why
just
is
hit
that
the
the
like
case?
button.
That shouldn't
Because
be the
people
case.
just don't. You know what? I'm tired of people.
Well, you're listening to us. Just hit the like button.
Just hit the like. Even if you don't like it for not liking it. But anyways, right?
This is why it is that we can't be doing this live for free, because
You see what you people cause?
You're not appreciating it.
you don't
Look
want
at that. And look what you've done. I'm joking. I'm playing. All right, let's get into Word on Road.
I'm not at all. Yes, it did.
Okay. All right. So the late Nipsey Hussle got basically got his Hollywood star, and also has a Nipsey Day.
Big up Nipsey, man.
Yeah. So he would have been 37 yesterday,
Mm.
and as you guys know, he was killed. He was killed like 3 years ago now.
Yeah, it's gone quick.
2019. Crazy. But yeah, so his star was basically presented to his grandmother. And obviously, if you follow Nipsey, he absolutely adored his grandmother as well. And Lauren London gave a speech, and she was there obviously with his 5-year-old son, Cross. And part of her speech, she said, "I think I speak for the entire city of LA when I say that we've always known Hustle was destined for greatness. This moment only amplifies this for us. Nip would have been honored by this moment. I think he would want everyone to remember that you can't get to what's possible unless you commit to moving forward. That doesn't mean forgetting where you come from, but it requires acknowledging the reality you're born into and the power you have to change that reality for the better." She also said, "So whenever you're in the city of angels and you see this star, I hope it encourages you to break away from whatever might be holding you back and for you to run your marathon until God says that it's finished." I absolutely love the way, like, obviously I know it wouldn't have taken her, it wouldn't have been an overnight thing. And obviously she's got like hurt and whatever, but I feel like her and like his family, like even his brother, his mum, like I've watched them in different interviews, and like the way they've coped with the death is so healthy and it's so encouraging. Do you get what I mean? It's just very like he had a purpose and that purpose was fulfilled. I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you saw the interview, kind of like shortly-ish after his, actually I think it was his funeral. It was funeral, yeah. And his mum was talking about when he died. And she literally said that she hadn't been contacted, but she knew. She knew he had left. And she was just like, she just knew that it's happened kind of thing. And they talk about him like he's this spiritual being that was in their life. Like it's I find it very, very interesting the way they talk about him. Yeah. I know she had an interview as well with Angie Martinez, and I haven't been able to watch all of it because again, I need to be in that space to take all of that content in. But I saw like snippets of it. She was talking about how I think one of the reasons why she's able to as well that's helped her heal is understanding that when you're in a relationship, like you don't own people. Like, and I remember she said this at his funeral as well, how like you just you experience people and they're in your life. Because people always say, someone's in your life for a season, blah blah. That's only when they cheat. But really, it's bigger than that. Do you get me? And she was saying how like he was in her life, he's helped. She's like, our relationship was in no way perfect, but it was deeper than what you could see, and just like what you could see. Yeah. It was more about like how they made each other feel and like what their purposes were in life and all that stuff. And I think I see him as like obviously he would have been pro-black, he would have been all these things. So I can see him, the conversations he's had with them has basically left a print on their hearts, whereby even in his absence, they still walk as if he's like the guardian angel consistently talking to them. I don't know why you're agreeing with me, but
no, but basically
I've been nervous.
I basically just want to say that's the principle of Orisha.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That these people lived a particular life.
Yeah.
So impactful.
Yeah.
That even when they left, you still felt their presence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the people just remember them forever.
Yeah.
That's basically.
Yeah, because she literally said that. She said he will be in our hearts forever. He lives with us. But I just thought it was so powerful when she said, hold on, where is it? Yeah, she said, when you see the star, I hope it encourages you to break away from whatever might be holding you back and for you to run your marathon until God says it's finished.
There you go.
That's a massive thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously a lot of people think, well, he was. I mean, people see it and be like, oh, he was killed ahead of his time and stuff. But his family don't even say that. They're like, no, his race was complete. He did everything he needed to do. And so essentially the marathon continues. Yeah. So it was absolutely beautiful. It looked like a very lovely ceremony, and his friends and people who loved him were there and present as well to, honor it and everything. And it was really, really good. And his sister as well, she also spoke at the ceremony and she said, how proud she was of her brother and she's so proud of him that proud is even an understatement. And she said, Nip the Great, look at who you are, look at what you did. I'm in awe, but I'm not surprised. You've been a star in my eyes, the family's eyes, God's eyes, far before the accolades caught up. You've affected the lives of so many in the realest ways. You've been a pillar in our family, in the community. And yeah, she just said she's amazed and impressed by, the example that he sets, and she's blessed and grateful to be able to call him her brother.
Nice.
So it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Next one, okay, so actually, Yusuf, this is gonna be interesting.
Mhm.
What do you think about this? So Megan Thee Stallion was on a radio show, I can't remember which one it is. And she basically said she paid Future $250,000 for his verse.
Millie.
Like, as in cash. As in her manager, she literally was like to her label, I need that money. I need this man on the song. Get the money ASAP. And then her manager, they got the money, her label gave the money, and literally her manager had to go and hand deliver it just to make sure. But she said that when he came through with the verse, he came through with, like, he basically rap trapped her to the point where she had to basically kind of reconstruct the song to make it flow and then kind of redo her verse and all that kind of stuff. Great stuff. However, when I was in the comments, should not be in the comments, people were like, sis, you should get a refund.
It was whack.
Yes, I would like to know, Mr. Rotation, what you thought of that song, because
I'm gonna have to listen again. Because
I
I didn't listen with, he got paid $250 for this verse is. So I need to listen again to, you know what I mean? I just listened to it. I didn't listen to it thinking he got paid that much for
But
it.
don't you think that says something in itself? Because the verse is not that. It wasn't a standalone. It didn't stand out as a track for you on the song. On the
Yeah,
album.
I'm surprised he was paid that much because you know what it is about the industry nowadays. Obviously, artists have budgets.
Yeah.
So that money's not, obviously, she's not coming out of her pocket, but it's coming out of her budget.
Yeah.
But a lot of times when these artists cultivate relationships, they do things for free.
For free, yeah.
You do one for me,
I'll do one for you. Yeah.
So I'm surprised that he charged her that much, to be fair with you.
Yeah, but I thought the same thing to that.
Yeah.
I thought, I didn't know you lot were kind of charging, but then I think Megan and Future are really friends.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. That's
like
true.
with Cardi
That's
and City Girls, or even like their baby and them. Like, I don't know. Some people I would say, okay, maybe she might not charge for that.
It's 100 or something.
250. That's $250,000. I'll be honest with you. When I heard the song,
and I swear it's not a single.
No, it's not.
It's an album filler.
Yeah, and I didn't think it was great. I honestly did not.
I'm listening
I
again
didn't
later.
think it was great. I did not think it was
And I'll
great.
speak on it tomorrow.
Sorry. Question, Esther.
Yes.
Tell me a verse that sounds like 250.
Well, that's worth 250 on Megan's album or in general.
Yes, in general.
But you're paying for the verse, you're paying for the person.
But this is it.
As in the future.
Paying for the person.
Yeah, because you said it doesn't sound like 250.
Nah,
Tell me one
I'm
that
just-
sounds like 250.
Nah, I can't lie. There's certain songs here where because I'm okay. Do you know what? Do you know what I think? Yeah, this is why I don't think it's worth 250. Yeah, this is not her greatest project. Respectfully, it feels like a waste of money. That money could have gone to something else, in my opinion. I think there are songs I can't think obviously on the spot now, but there are definitely songs that are worth 250,000 that literally they've made that 50 times over. That for me is worth 250,000. If like I'm like, okay, do you know, I've got a song here, I'm gonna have Drake, but this means not you put your hand up like in the class.
Busta Rhymes verse on Look at Me Now.
Ooh,
250, right?
yeah.
No, I'm sure you can rattle off bare. But in the what I'm saying is that it's more so who he is than what he said.
I think in that
Yeah,
instance,
definitely.
I think in that Busta Rhymes instance, it was about what he said. Because Busta doesn't garner the same attention.
Do you know
as
how much?
used to
That's
get.
a banging tune.
But that verse, fam, that verse changed. I mean, like
Yeah,
that was
that was-
a culture movement.
yeah, that was a movement.
I mean,
I was thinking Nicki Minaj on Monster.
Monster.
Yeah.
But then she wasn't worth 250 there. But obviously, then the impact, seeing that, it's like, do you know what? Hold a $250,000.
I feel like she was the best person on the track.
She was.
Yeah, she killed it.
She absolutely did. But do you know what I mean? But I just think this one, ma'am, nah. Because I don't think, obviously, her album's going to make money. But I don't know, it's not charting to, do you know what's a 250 verse? When Beyonce did Savage with her. That remix. Because she had Savage, and Savage was doing what it did. But then when she and Beyonce did the thing, and it was a whole Houston thing, and that was...
I guarantee you, Beyonce didn't charge for that.
No, she didn't, because it was a charity thing.
I guarantee you.
Apparently,
charity from
Future
Houston.
gave her a whole song and she cut it up and only used 16.
Sorry?
That's what somebody said.
That
Future
what?
gave her a whole song and she cut it up and only used 16.
Yeah. He gave her a whole song, but in my mind, she's picked the best part. And when when I'm listening, that was the best part for $250,000.
But
And it's not even a single. That's
And
the mad
also, you know
thing.
what it is? Future's still popping, still popular, innit? But I don't think he's at 250
Nah.
for me
I think she
right now.
I think she had paid Drake that money. Drake could have come up with something that'd be so good, and that song could potentially do what like Savage and WAP and her other songs have done.
But then again, remember her album just come out, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that may be a single.
It's not.
No,
Basically, her first single was her. And when I forgot to say yesterday.
It means it might be a single later.
Okay. Because I was going to say the first single was her, and I forgot to say yesterday, you know, like that Vogue stuff that's currently, that the Gworls are doing, the gays and girls are doing. Yeah. That's when I heard that song, I said, oh, you're trying to.
The gays and girls.
The gays and girls. Yeah.
Is that a clap? Oh.
That's not a clap.
Title.
Okay, I'll tell you how to spell Gworls. It's Gworls.
Oh, W. I thought it was GU.
No, that's girls.
Girls.
It's like Gworls.
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 All right, the gays.
It's like the Gworls. Yeah, the Gworls. That's what the Gworls are doing. But yeah, so like that Vogue song, when I heard that, I thought like that out of everything, that song was like, okay. And I knew that was going to be this. I forgot to say yesterday, I knew that was going to be single because right now, Vogue and stuff, like, this is what's trending. That's why Beyonce's album, obviously it's Beyonce anyway, but that's the kind of sound that Beyonce was working with. Do you get what I mean? It's that whole posing, camera, lights, action, that kind of vibe. So I knew her, because she's got a video out already for it.
Yeah, well, I saw a little bit.
Yeah. So.
Yes, Star Crew, Drake would have probably charged more than double.
But it would have been worth it. That's my point.
Ebonyonics is so old school. She said, Lady Dynamite on Envy. Would have been 250. I hear that though. That's a banging verse still.
Yeah, for real.
When I step on the microphone,
I think it would have been worth it.
People were playing. Come on.
Someone said $1,400 per word. It's true because someone was like, people in the comments were like 250K, and I didn't even hear a word this man said. It really wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't it, man. But of course, for her, it's Megan Thee Stallion. She's with Future. Future it's a legend to her. Do you get what I mean? So she likes it. I love it. Well, not quite actually, but somewhat love it. Anyways, next. R. Kelly. So you know his trial is ongoing.
For what now?
Basically, he's got to have two trials because I think the first one, I don't know, I'll be honest with you, I can't keep up anymore. But this one is for trigger warning. I think this is to do with the child stuff. This one.
Wasn't it all to do with like children?
Huh?
Wasn't it all to do with children?
No, because some of them are like older women. I don't know, E-man.
Sorry.
I don't know. I just think the man should just be in jail already. Like, I'm tired now.
He's there, innit? They gave him 30 years. What else do you want?
Yeah, so he's got another trial, basically. And this one, they were basically doing the jury selection. So his lawyer basically said that they don't think it's fair for members of jurors who have watched Surviving R. Kelly to be on the jury. Well, the judge said no. Judge said that don't matter. If you didn't do anything, they wouldn't want to have to survive you, sir. So yeah. So his attorney said no one, even a well-intentioned person, would be capable of purging his brain of information obtained through the docuseries or separating information learned from the documentary that was never subject to cross-examination from testimony introduced at trial on the same subject matter. So essentially, it's not fair to have someone who's watched him being survived. Because even when they go on the jury, you're meant to be objective. They can't be. It's not possible for them to be objective, basically. But and they said, there is substantial overlap between the subject matter of this prosecution and the subject matter of the documentary. So it's not really quite all the same thing. Basically, they don't think there's a direct link to what his trial is now. I will let you guys know what the verdict of this one is.
Wait, hold on 1 second, Brent. How do you check how many likes the video has? Someone said it only has 5 likes.
No, so that person, unfortunately, is watching the stream
late
after the fact.
Oh.
This person could be very disappointed when the stream ends up going to completely remove it.
Because I was about to go crazy on y'all. 5 likes.
No.
How can Jin and just say, Esther, your job is to keep up. Thank you, please. Ma'am, I said I'm taking a break.
Jin and Jis is the one with the bare sass.
Oh, Jin and Jis, you're something else. But no, so basically he was sentenced to 30 years in June. But this was 9 counts, including racketeering. This was more of a federal case, right? So I think now is when the whole sex stuff is happening, basically. I'm gonna let you all know how it keeps going, man. How many other years he gets, but yeah, this is gonna be something, basically. If it is what I think it is. But yeah, that's all there is to my tea today. I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, don't worry. When it is we populating the community, you guys can send in tea for Esther to consider when
Yes, and I can deactivate my account because you guys will do my job.
All right, people. It's the People's Journal where I give you the news from an economics point of view. Today, I don't really have any what you guys may consider bad news. Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay. Anyway.
We'll be the judge of that, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see how it goes. But the first thing is the government, right, are basically trying to find a way. In fact, they're not trying to find a way. They have found a way to basically simplify access to cheaper broadband for people on benefits, which is a beautiful thing, man.
Okay.
Because obviously everyone, because sometimes basically people with certain benefits get certain discounts, right? Certain tariffs and whatnot. But you have to go through you have to climb hills and valleys and all types of stuff to prove all of this bollocks, right? So basically, from the 22nd of August, people receiving certain benefits can ask broadband firms to check their eligibility for social tariffs. So the broadband people will just check it for you.
Okay, that's good.
There's a system where it's simple, done, checked, yep, good to go. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So no long stories where people can't get access. You're asking people to look for jobs and they have to go and walk all the way to this place, take a bus to this place to go to bloody internet cafe and all that other rubbish. Like, all of that is going to be a thing of the past.
That's really good,
man.
actually.
So that's some really good news. So the tariffs basically range from like £10, £25 a month. Obviously, it depends on the bandwidth.
That's the thing, though. They're going to give them. They're going to give them 5 gig now.
It depends. It wouldn't be that crap. We can't.
I hope not. You gotta give them the fiber optic.
Yeah, it won't be that. It won't be that though. But like, but at least they're getting, I think, something that's going to be like decent. That like you won't be like thinking, oh man, I'm here forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, and it ranges, like I was saying, between £10 and £25. Obviously, depending on the bandwidth, the company.
Month.
Yeah, a month. And
It's quite good.
And stuff like that. So yeah, man, that's good for them to sort out. Yeah. So anyone that's on benefits and stuff that's maybe been dealing with this nonsense, that should be rectified from the 22nd of August.
Ebony said it's a lie. It's like 2% speed. I wouldn't be surprised.
Also, this is for graduates out there. PwC, they're basically a firm. They're one of the UK's largest graduate employers. They're basically saying they're not looking for recruits for people who only have first and 2-1s anymore. They've opened it up to people with 2-2s, which is good. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously there's a lot of intelligent people out there with 2-2s.
Yeah.
I always say to people, your degree, to me, doesn't really talk about how smart you are.
Yeah, because you just have to regurgitate stuff.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's university, to me anyway, is about discipline. It teaches you discipline.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
And things of that nature. So, it does give a chance to people. Obviously, they're not just doing it out of, benevolence. They're doing it because what they say is talent and potential is determined by more than academic grades, right? And they're also saying accepting people with lower second-class degrees will also help the socio-economic diversity of its workforce, which is a good thing. That doesn't mean they're trying to, I hope this is not what they're trying to say, that opening up the range of degrees means you get people from lower-class backgrounds coming in and certain, ethnic minorities. I hope that's not what they mean. But it does, I think, help boost the economy because a lot of the time, you're going to get people with 2-2s who feel kind of disillusioned and be like, you know what, that's it for me. I never forget.
And it's bad. The emotional effects here education can have on a person is actually ridiculous. Yeah. Because a lot of people actually feel like I got a 2-2, like this is the worst thing I could have got.
Yeah. And they just go into something that's not related to the thing that maybe they were even passionate about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Is when it is that you go and apply for a job and they do even care as to what it is that you bloody
it's ridiculous.
3 years doing.
Yeah, so this is a good look. I never get one lecturer at my uni said to me, if like these people out there who get like, he didn't say 2-2s. It's kind of talking about third class, right? Or whatever it's called.
Third and fourth.
They're in the fourth, is it?
I wouldn't know.
Anyway, he's basically just saying that the degree is not worth the papers written on. That's basically what it says.
I always said that.
Yeah.
And I had to pay $9,000.
There you go.
I paid $9,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it, man.
Disgusting.
Yeah. You know how much it was back in my day?
What?
So I'm saying.
£500?
1,125.
A year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Disgusting.
It was
Good
a bit
time,
of time.
good stuff.
It's actually because it's not worth it, and I do majority of the work myself. When I think of how much contact teaching time I had in uni,
Sorry.
I was disgusted.
Sorry.
Yes, but
Did the hike did the hike in university fees come under the Labour government?
no, the Tories, I believe. I believe it was under Cameron. It went up to
Have
3.
have the camera on your face now, Esther.
How did what?
Have the camera on your face now.
Okay. What I gonna do?
Your beloved Conservative government.
Who said I like the
What?
Conservatives?
All right.
You
never
be
mind.
shit stirring.
Never mind.
I have to defend Esther.
Not you as a
Ben,
child of
this-
Jesus
Innit?
lying.
All right. Okay. I thought you guys were basically, loving Boris Johnson and his tenure.
Can you imagine?
No, I said,
And the
listen.
previous tenure of the Mother
I
FM.
told you when it comes to the Boris Johnson stuff, I'm not thinking of this as a white conservative, funny hair man. It's the Nigerian blood in me that was like, I like someone who's resilient. I like that. I like people who commit to what they want to do and they see it through. So when he quit, the Nigerian in me didn't rate that. Because why would you quit? I'm not here for that.
You did the same when it is
Awkward.
Corbyn got kicked out, yeah?
Sorry?
You did the same when Corbyn got kicked out. You didn't like the fact that they kicked him out.
When was Corbyn? I think that's before my time.
But you know what? That's the thing I respected about Corbyn.
Because he got kicked out.
No, that he was militant
Mm.
because they tried for long.
So he didn't quit, he got kicked out.
Eventually, yeah. You know, it always happens, isn't it?
Wait,
Eventually,
he had to quit.
yeah, he just resigned or something. Yeah, but
Okay.
before he got there, it was probably worse than Boris's one.
That's a bit of
He
me,
was
you know.
sacking people that were talking.
Oh, I love that kind of power. It's like Margaret Thatcher. She said, you want to snake me? You're gone.
Gone.
You're done. You're done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I loved it.
I liked it.
I didn't like his policies, but I liked his personality.
Okay.
All right. And the last thing, this is a bit of the bad news. I'm sorry. Basically, a BBC Panorama investigation has uncovered property sales worth more than £120 million linked to a successful developer and a charity, right?
Mhm.
So basically, this particular charity, MySpace Housing Solutions, they basically have claimed to help tens of millions. Sorry, they've claimed tens of millions of pounds of public money, right, to house vulnerable people. This is what they do, right? Cool. Nothing bad about that. So, things of that nature, right? But they're involved in the scandal where people are buying a property, right?
Yeah.
To then house these people. But a lot of the time, what they're doing is, they will not say a lot of the time, but in some instances, what they're doing is they're buying properties for X amount of money and selling it for the profits. It's meant to be a charity that's meant to, you know what I'm saying?
It's giving the
You're
BLM
bu- you
woman
meant
from
to just-
America.
There you go. You're meant to just buy the place, fix it up, and get people in there.
Yeah.
Simple. But these people said, no, there's an opportunity here, people. And so, yeah, in one instance, this is what happened on the 21st of November, 2019. They purchased a flat for £800,000.
Okay.
Cool. Beautiful thing. 10 flats, right? I believe. The same day they sold it. I didn't say the same day next year. With less than 24 hours, they sold it for 1.58 million. They doubled their profit. They doubled the, you know what I'm saying? Can you imagine?
I don't know. That's good business.
It's amazing business.
Yeah,
it's fraud
That's what.
to
Is
some
it?
degree.
Is it?
Fraud.
It's moral fraud.
Who's behind that?
Yes.
Who's behind that?
This charity organization.
Any names? Any
Oh, I'm gonna give you the names.
types of people?
It's name and shame.
Yeah.
That's the types of
Not
people.
DJ Black start waking up. Sir, I don't love a Putin. If he comes in black and Nigerian, yeah, I do. I'm joking.
So yeah, MySpace Housing Solutions.
Not housing solutions. They're funny for that.
Imagine. And basically, they said that it was too focused on expansion and it failed to support some of their tenants, right? Because obviously they're just thinking, let's make more money, let's buy more properties. And to some degree, you kind of feel like, look, if I could sell this place for double, I just bought it, less than 24 hours, technically you could buy more properties though, isn't it? So I guess maybe they're thinking maybe that, you know what I'm saying? But it just doesn't sound right. It just doesn't seem
Yeah,
right.
it's not.
you know
It's
what
not
I'm saying?
good look at all.
And yeah, man. Yeah, and sorry, the property company Enabling Homes, which is owned by Paul O'Rourke, they bought the block for 800,000. So it wasn't the housing solutions. It was this actual company. So basically, the guy has a company and he has a charity linked to the company. And yeah,
Is there a picture? This Oruk, is it Irish? What is it?
there's no picture of him. There's just a picture of the property they bought. But I'm pretty sure we can Google it and find that guy.
Man took rob this England a bit too far.
England is the people. 120 million.
160.
160.
That's mad.
So what am I saying? 100? What are we talking about?
Is he white?
Oh, 100%. Paul O'Rourke. Yeah, I've never seen him, but he definitely is. So what did I say? 120 million?
No, it's 1.58 million.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
The math skill strikes again.
Yeah, man. So they purchased it for 800K.
Well, that was one of the houses, right?
Yeah.
But the whole thing, the whole scheme, wasn't it 120? You said that
it's one flat. They sold for that.
Yeah.
I thought you meant in collection. I thought you meant all the 10 flats.
Sorry, it's not one flat. It's the building, but it has numerous flats in it. Yeah, so there's 10 flats. Yeah.
So they bought the entire building for 800K. And then they sold it for 1.58 million.
Yes. Yeah. And sorry, Brent, they've claimed tens of millions of pounds of public money to house vulnerable people. That's the charity,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Love it.
So yeah. Anyway, that's the only bit of bad news I had of it. You know what I mean? If you want to see it that way. But yeah, that's it for me, man.
Crazy. Yeah, this was very actually uplifting. Thank you for that.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Thank you. All right, asking for a friend. So, good morning, guys. You guys play on the document too much.
Sorry.
All right. Good morning, guys. I started listening to you guys a month ago, and I've been binge watching the old episodes, and I'm all now caught up. Ridiculous, I know, but this is now my new staple. It's not ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
I'm a binge watcher. I like things in excess. It's absolutely amazing what you guys have committed to. Thank you. Crazy, but effing amazing. Thank you. So I'll keep this simple. I have evidence that my man has cheated on me and I'm going to break up with him. This isn't in question. But what I want first is a little balance. E-Man always bangs on about life and balance when he talks about economics. I need to get revenge just before I give him his marching orders. Please indulge this. I'm not looking for advice against doing this. Thanks, love you all. And sorry for not pretending this was about my friend. I need you to understand how serious I am.
What's the question?
Basically, how can she revenge? How can she get revenge on a man before she dumps him? It's a good one.
What's close to his heart? What means a lot to him? And maybe attack that thing.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting.
No, remember she said indulge. This is not time for
I'm not recommending this to anyone, but I'm just saying.
I think that's great advice. Yeah. That's what I would do. Whatever it is that's very close to him.
Yeah.
Regardless of who you got to take down, you got to do it. He's got to hit that spot. But you have to be sis.
And don't do anything that's detrimental to yourself, like go and fuck someone or that's not. I don't.
That's not detrimental.
To be held.
No. That is detrimental because you're fucking under duress. You're fucking.
No, she might always peeped his friend and she said, you know what, this is the right time to.
Yeah, but I don't think you should have sex in that way to
no, but that's because some people don't.
Because you might finish it and you might feel little bit. She might not. You might feel. Yeah, she might not, but she might.
But okay,
risk
things, yeah.
versus reward. No, you got to balance it out.
If you're someone who doesn't attach like feelings like sex can be completely physical to you, and he's got like I don't know someone he donated a kidney to or something. Someone that you know if I had sex with this person is gonna upset him or whatever. If sex is the way to go, sis,
but it might end up upsetting you more in the long run.
It might, but everyone knows themselves. You know whether you're someone who gets attached by sex or via, like it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you get attached through sex or if it's some people, honestly, it's just a physical thing. It's just I've got an itch, scratch it, okay, bye. Do you know what I mean? But sis, I have to let you know before you come and write into a sis, what would you do? You have to make sure you're trying to leave this man if you're going to take revenge. You cannot do all this and now be acting confused. You have to make sure that you're definitely leaving him. Because even if you're not going to leave him, there's still ways you can make him suffer. In that situation, there's definitely ways you can still make him suffer. But you have to make sure you're actually going to leave him. But I would say, honestly, whatever it is that's closest to him, that's dearest to him, do that.
What are the ways you could make him suffer if she stays?
Do you know? Okay. Right. So
Why so excited? I like very excited, bro. Calm down over there.
Get that right.
Let's get my back. No, I'm playing. So basically, yeah. If you catch someone cheating or whatever, what I would do, I would present all the evidence to you. I would let you know, I got this, give you all the receipts, all that kind of stuff. I've literally caught him in a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he would be like, oh my gosh, like he would want to talk about it. And I'm like, do you know what? It's fine, don't worry about it. It's all right, don't worry about it. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I think that, yeah, because every day he's going to, and you do the same thing, you give him food, you just live normal. Because for me, yeah, that the suffering is you don't know whether or not I'm going to strike. You don't know whether or not, like, it looks crazy. It looks crazy that I found out this information, all the receipts are there. I haven't even given you a chance to lie. I've just let you know, oh, by the way, this is what you did. You had sex with this girl on April the 14th and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, do you know what? Don't worry about it, it's cool. And we just carry on like normal.
Hey, hold on, but what's your end goal?
What's my end goal?
Yeah. Because you ain't gonna.
I just want
you ain't gonna keep this up.
No, I can.
What,
I can.
and stay with him?
Because every day I know that you're suffering. Typically,
Esther, you're not gonna be able to keep this up forever.
I'm sorry. Have you ever cheated on me?
Hello?
No, but you're not
You
going
can't-
Esther,
to waste
don't
your
lie
life.
to yourself.
Oh,
You can't keep
Listen.
up this act forever.
Not
Ever.
Not forever,
No.
ever. But for as long as you need to,
Okay,
because he's gonna be sweating.
Give me let's talk lemon terms. Give me a time frame.
I think I could actually carry this on. I could do 2 months.
That's not even long. I was thinking you were gonna say something crazy.
Like a year.
I said 2 months.
I can't do a year. But you're forgetting.
2 months. Of course you can do 2 months.
That's 60 days.
I know, but of course you could do 2
60
months.
days of
I
you
was thinking you
waking
were gonna
up
say
every
like
single
a
day.
year or something.
No, I can't do a year. I can't do a year.
That's why I said originally you can't keep up this act forever.
No. I think you listen. You do. Yeah, I can't do definitely can't do forever.
Yeah.
But I think do all of this. Be great. You guys flourish in a relationship. But I'm someone again. I've told you guys. If someone cheats on me, I'm out. So what I will do is enjoy the time. You'll think everything is great. Everything is lovely. We'll be lovey-dovey, and I'll be like, you know, we've gotten over it. It's gotten us stronger. I might even be even more emotional, more like get closer to you. Do all these things, and then one day, I'm just gonna leave you. But you didn't see it coming. There's no problem.
Isn't all that exhausting for you?
No, it's not, because I know the end goal. I'm gonna be happy at the end. So it's great.
What if he didn't even care at the end? How do you feel? How do you feel if he didn't even care? You done all this for no reason.
I wouldn't be with a guy who doesn't care.
No, you don't. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't.
Huh?
I wouldn't. If I catch you cheating on me and I'm telling you and your reaction is like, oh, I don't.
No, I don't
Okay,
mean. I don't
then
mean.
that's fine.
I don't mean he doesn't care when you've rumbled him. I mean, after you've done this 2 months
No, you
of
will care.
pretending,
You will care.
please,
You will care.
please, my sister. And after because you're forgetting, right?
Yeah.
He's going through his whole set of emotions himself. You've
Yeah.
rumbled him,
Yeah.
and now you're acting normal and trying to act like things are kosher, right?
Yeah.
He's not just a blank canvas. He's in his own life thinking about, okay, what does this mean for us? He's assessing what you're doing. He's coming up to his own conclusions. No, yeah.
Okay.
At the end of your little 2 months thing, and you break up with him, he might have clocked out himself because maybe,
He can't.
you can't keep saying me what he's doing
He wouldn't.
based on what you want.
He wouldn't.
No, you can't keep saying that.
If I catch you cheating, yeah,
Esther,
every guy knows
be
it.
honest with yourself,
If your
please.
girl catches you cheating,
Yeah.
typically what comes after that? She's making a scene. It's the whole thing. Life is unbearable for you in the house, all that kind of stuff. So if he's gonna be like, oh wow, I found a real one. She's not bringing this up. Like, she's not making my life like, okay,
No,
blah,
but
blah.
what the thing is, the scenario you've painted
Yeah.
is completely unrealistic, right?
It's not.
Hear me out. Experience me.
And where do you think I'm talking from? My ass?
If a woman rumbles her man cheating, right?
Yeah.
And she approaches him in very calm demeanor. Hey, I've
Yeah.
caught you cheating with this girl. It's fine. Let's carry on. That's not a quote unquote normal reaction, right?
Yeah.
So, how do you think he's going to react to that?
I think he's gonna
Do
be.
you
He's gonna think it's
do
weird.
you think he's going to be like, okay, cool, let's just carry on as normal?
That's what I'm saying. And no, he wouldn't.
So, how do you think he's going to react?
I feel like he's gonna think, okay, this is very weird. Why are you
Yeah.
not talking about it? I feel like he's gonna be on edge. You're gonna be
I'm
on edge.
telling
You're
you for a
thinking,
fact, the way you think this is going to go, it's not going to go that way.
how is it gonna
yeah?
go?
I can't say definitively, but if a man has been rumbled for cheating, and his girlfriend is acting as calm as day, he's not gonna now just go back to normal, start acting normal. He's not. Like,
what's he gonna do?
He's gonna want to have to talk out of you.
Yeah, but if I'm saying
this 2 months of you acting like Susie Homemaker is not gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. Trust me.
So where's his headspace gonna be at?
He's gonna be completely perturbed to why you're behaving the way you are.
Okay.
Right? He's probably gonna want to talk it out of you.
Okay, and then
based on what the conversation is, the relationship might end or it might carry on. Depends.
Yeah, but if I'm like, you know what, it's fine. We don't need to talk about that, blah blah. But what's his?
No, but the thing is, you're doing an act. You're being.
It's not an act. It's not an act because
it's an act.
Okay,
you're being intentional in how you react to it because you want to punish him. You want to.
Yeah, but if he doesn't think he's being punished,
right?
if he doesn't think he's being punished, where is his headspace? So are you saying to me that he's gonna carry on as normal in a relationship?
No, he's not.
So what's his behavior going to be like in a relationship?
I can't say definitively because it's down to person.
But give an example. What you think?
I believe he's going to want to talk out with you.
Okay, and if I'm like, you know what, we'll talk about it another time. It's fine. For now, it's fine. It's blah blah blah.
I think he'll be on edge. He'll be on eggshells. He's going to probably bring it up. He's not gonna just accept that you're just. He's not going to believe you. He's not going to believe that you're just fine with it. And just carry on. He's not going to believe it.
For me, him being on edge, him walking on eggshells and all that kind of stuff, that's what I want. So all this, you're proving my point.
No, but what I'm trying to say is I don't think it's going to drag out for as long as you think it's going to drag out for. I don't think he's going to be on eggshells every single day. I think there's going to be a point where, and this could happen after a day or two, where he's like, Esther, knock it off. Like, let's talk about this.
But why knock it off?
Because
he's game.
I believe what you're saying is some fantasy ideal scenario.
It really
might, no, for me.
Yeah,
for me it is. I don't see this happening in real life. I don't see it.
My thing is, he's gonna stress about it. He's gonna stress over it. He's gonna be stressed about why it is I'm not stressed about it and why I'm just carrying on as normal, blah, 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 blah. That's what I want. I want you to be stressed.
Can I just mention, a couple of people in the comments are basically saying, can you actually mention some actual ways to get back at him? So, like, Ebony Onyx even said,
sleep with his daddy.
Put bleaching cream in his lotion. I think I saw someone say, sleep with his barber.
Someone says it depends on his ego. Some man might think they got it like that. Nah.
Listen, got what like that?
As in, he can cheat and his girl will be like, okay, it's fine. Like, no, who thinks that they can cheat and the girl will be like, oh, you cheated and okay, cool, let's carry on. That to me is extremely passive aggressive. You're deliberately trying to contain your emotions and you're deliberately being intentional with how you deal with it. It's so obvious. It's not
knowing that you're gonna long term suffer. Like I'm a slow, like some Everest said it. Esther's a slow poisoner. That's my vibe. I like that. I want you every single day you wake up to be on edge, to not be sure whether I'm gonna bring it up or not, whether I'm gonna just be angry. Like, you don't know which Esther you're going to get, but every day for as long as I can, you're going to get a nice Esther. I like that. I want you to. What is me, yeah?
I just don't believe
do you know
what
many
you're describing
women
is a sustainable scenario.
It is. Because how many women, have, when they've caught their man cheating, have gone mad about it, shouted, blah, blah, and what's come from that? What's come from it? What has come from it?
No, but
I think I've got better technique. I can't lie to you.
You're not okay with it. You're pretending to be okay with it because you want to punish him.
I'm not pretending. It's acting.
Okay.
It's not pretending. Because pretending is me saying to his face, I'm cool with it, and then in the back crying about it. No. For me,
Esther,
what is fueling...
That's semantics.
No, it's not. What's fueling me to keep going?
You are deliberately pretending to be fine to make him suffer.
What is going to keep me going is knowing that you wake up every day and you don't know I'm going to kill in your sleep or not. You don't have a clue. You don't know.
You ain't killing no one in their sleep.
All right, babes.
You're not killing no one in their sleep.
Okay. All right, Yusuf. Because when I asked you what it is, how he would feel, you're telling me I can't say this is what the situation is. But you're not giving me anything. You're not giving me anything.
I've given you a few things.
No, you haven't. You said I can't say for exactly
because I'm not every man.
He would be like, okay.
But I gave you for example.
I'm telling you what I would do.
I said he would want to talk it out. I said he wouldn't believe you. That you're just,
but you're talking from
calm.
But you're talking as yourself,
and so are you.
And I'm talking. So, but you can't. You're telling me I'm talking as myself. But what I'm saying is not making sense. But I'm talking as myself.
I'm talking about men in general and also homing in myself. If you're talking about the guy you're seeing specifically, the guy you're dating, fair enough. I was assuming you're talking about men on the broader
you don't
scale.
know what I can do or can't do. So you can't tell me.
I'm not saying you
no, you
can't
did.
do it.
If
I'm saying that it's
you
not
said
sustainable because he himself.
Oh, you mean? How
is
do you know
in
it's not
his-
sustainable for me?
There's two people in the scennario.
But
I
how-
believe.
no,
I
I'm not
believe
talking about him. I'm talking about
you
what
may
I
be
can
able
sustain.
to carry on his act, but with his added influence, it won't be sustainable.
So are you just saying that, for example, with him, he may decide, you know what, I'm gonna leave. I'm just not gonna deal with it, or
It could be. He could decide, you know what? Like, I can see through this. Like, I've cheated on you, I've hurt you, and I've done wrong. I acknowledge my wrong, but you, for some reason, want to pretend like nothing's happened. It's psycho. Like, let's talk about this. I'm in the wrong, fair enough. Let's have a real conversation about it. Let's not be childish, and now I'm going to pretend for 2 months that everything's fine and dandy, and then at the end of it, hey, I'm gone. That's childish.
so
Like,
so he can force the
I've been
conversation
rumbled
to
for
happen.
cheating. Let's be adults and talk about this. Oh no, babe, it's fine. What do you want for breakfast? What's that? That's not a real life.
I get what you're saying, but if the girl, the woman in the situation
Yeah.
who's been wronged,
Yeah.
is saying to you, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about
But in this scenario, she's doing it deliberately because in her mind, that's how I'm going to hurt him by pretending everything is fine.
it.
And in 2 months' time, I'm gone.
Mm.
What I'm saying is, I don't believe, for me, no.
Yeah.
That is a realistic, that sounds like a film
Mm.
for me. But each to their own. Each to their own.
I've met people as like mad as Esther is seeming right now. I have met plenty of them, and they will take time to basically roll it out. So I fully believe.
The rollout, the reveal, or the actual.
I fully
you've
believe
cheated.
that Esther is capable.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're telling me, like, I've done this before. Like, okay.
Listen,
Alright.
I don't, whether or not you've
Shit,
done
I
it,
don't get it.
whether or not you've done it before or not, I'm
Okay.
still entitled to my opinion on how I feel this scenario is gonna be. Like, it is what it is. Like,
So
it is what it
obviously,
is.
what I'm hearing is that if Yusuf is dating a girl like Esther, and he happened to basically cheat, and she comes across as calm as he thinks that she is gonna come across, he's gonna be like, no, there's no way you're just gonna.
To me, I'll be honest with you.
Super
To me,
super calm.
that's childish because
It's not childish.
for me,
It's not childish.
for me,
For you, for
for
anybody, it's
me,
not childish.
no, for me.
Because you know, I don't like when people call
For
something.
me.
It's not how you would
For
react, or it's
me.
not what you. It's not
For
how you want
me.
someone to react.
Esther,
doesn't make it
I'm
childish.
telling you my opinion.
Well, your opinion is funny
Okay, it's fine.
It's not
You're
childish.
entitled to your opinion and my opinion. I'm not.
because people will say they want to do something, and because it's not the way you would do something, we put a label on it. It's childish. There's nothing childish about that.
I've chosen
So
to
maturity,
call it childish.
is that I catch you cheating,
I've
and then
I've chosen to call it
and then I
childish.
say that and then we want to talk because you want to talk about it. Maturity is me saying you want to talk about, yes, I'm ready. Let's talk about it. But childishness is when I'm like, I'm not ready to talk about something.
Are you offended by the word
Okay.
childish?
It's all right. Carry on.
I said in my opinion, I thought it was childish. Okay, we all express our opinions. What's the issue?
So how about you, Emmanuel?
See, the thing is with me, yeah, I feel as though I'm struggling to indulge it. Like, because I just feel like when you wrong someone on purpose, right, especially in revenge, somehow it affects you. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Especially if like the way Esther's talking, right? I don't think that's wrong in him. You know what I'm saying? That's more so how she's reacting to him. But if you're saying, I want to retaliate, you know what I'm saying? I want revenge.
Yeah.
I feel like it just...
That,
you bring yourself back to his level.
That might be hurting you deep down, like subconsciously. You don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like,
Especially with time.
Each to
You
their
know what
own,
I'm
innit?
saying?
Each to their own. And obviously we're here to express and tell,
Can I ask
how
a
we do
question?
things. I just feel like it's not a good solution, in my
Yeah.
opinion. It's not a good solution.
Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
Fellas, your woman cheats on you.
Mhm.
And obviously you guys will leave immediately, yes?
Yeah.
If you knew full well that telling her friend or family or even the church that she is not a nice human being,
Yeah.
would cause some disruption in her life, would you leave that present with her?
Telling the church or whoever that she's not nice.
No. That she basically cheated, knowing full well that they will be. Oh my goodness!
No, what's their business?
I can't do stuff like that. You know?
So you wouldn't. You just keep it to yourself.
Why?
Yeah.
I
So
don't-
if you then hear oh my goodness, you guys broke up?
Mhm.
What did you do?
Yeah.
If people they're asking you questions,
Yeah.
thinking that because of your silence, it was you that caused the breakup, you're not informing anybody.
No.
Are you talking about if you're asked for volunteering information?
I first of all start with volunteering.
No, I wouldn't.
You
no,
guys said no.
I wouldn't volunteer information.
I'm
If
trying
someone
to
asks me, then fair enough.
I'm trying to ascertain whether it is revenge in your head never exists for any single situation.
I'm not a revenge person. I don't give a fuck, bruv. Honestly, revenge for what?
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
So what does payback look like to you guys?
If someone, I'm talking about with a girl, by the way, right?
Yeah.
For example, if a guy, for example, disrespected me retaliating to me isn't revenge. I'm just retaliating to what he done in the moment. If my girl done me wrong,
So it's the word revenge that's spinning you.
Revenge to me is,
It's the word that's spinning you.
it's not spinning me.
It's like
It's not
calculating.
spinning me. Yeah, revenge is more like calculate. Oh, how can I get you back? Let me devise a plan. As opposed to if he does something to me and I react straight away, that's not
Yeah.
revenge. I'm just reacting to it. So if my girl does something to me, like she cheated, I'm not at home thinking, okay, cool, you cheated on me. How can I get you back? What am I gonna do?
All right,
No.
so it's the planning. It's the semantics now.
It's
You mentioned semantics earlier. Semantics now.
yeah, semantics, whatever. But okay, cool. If my girl admits she cheats on me, in the moment I react. Is that revenge? No, it's a reaction, right? So define revenge. Is revenge something that happens?
Wait, it's not revenge? It's not you paying her back for something that she did to hurt you?
No, what I'm asking you is, if my girl cheats on me, what can I do in the moment which is classified as revenge?
You tell me.
No, I don't know.
All right, I do believe that human beings, we are like similar and alike in a lot of different ways, 100%. And whatever it is that hurts somebody, they react to it. I believe that we are also capable of doing that bollocks. It just depends on what the first instance is and how it is that we feel about it.
I'm not gonna lie. Listen, if you done me wrong, you go and live in that. You go and live in that. My conscience is clear. I don't need to seek revenge on you. I don't need to now go and fuck one of your friends. I don't care. You go and stew in what you've done. I'm nice over here.
Suppose she
B.
burns all of your Jordans.
I'm not gonna go to a house and burn her shoes, bro.
No, what would you do if she burns all your Jordans? Would you report her?
I don't know, Brent. I don't know. What are my options? She's a woman. I'm not gonna hit her.
I didn't say it.
So if a woman burns my Jordans, all right, let's be realistic about it. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna call the police? Probably not. Am I gonna hit her? Definitely not. So all I have then is my fury and my anger, and that's it. Unfortunately, Brent.
What?
Would
Come
you
on.
try and take her to court and make sure she
Bloody
pays you
hell,
back?
something.
There's a lot of money, you know.
I know, but you know what it is? I ain't got the time or the energy for that, bruv. Like, yes, I'll be angry, I'll be steaming, I'll be furious. But do I want to take you to court for burning my Jordans? No, I don't. Like, this is just me. This is just me.
I get you.
Like, I understand. I know that sometimes in life you have to stew in your anger, and it is what it is. I'm not gonna hit you.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not gonna drive to your house, knock your door down, and burn your belongings. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go online and bash you. That's not me. So sometimes in life, you just gotta take shit, bruv. This is life, bro.
Cool. Some people they would.
Yeah, some people. I'm
Yeah,
not some people. I'm me.
yeah, I hear that,
I'm me.
How about you, Manuel?
It's the same, and I just don't see life that way, you know. I don't see
Suppose
life
she
that way.
burns all of your vinyls.
Then I don't know. Honestly, I don't. My brain doesn't think, oh, I need to get you back.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen like that to me. You know what I'm saying? Especially a woman. I just don't
Yeah,
see life.
So
that way.
if it was a man, it would be different.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
100%.
Yeah,
Sorry,
100%.
Why would it be different?
Because we're on-
man are Imano, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so there's violence involved now.
If you slap me, dude, of course there's violence.
No,
involved.
wait.
Wait.
I'm asking the question.
Wait, go on.
You okay?
Ask away. I'm dandy.
All right, so a woman burns your shoes,
Yes.
you would do nothing. A man burns your shoes, what would you do?
If I catch a man burning my shoes, then it's violence.
If you don't catch him, what would you do?
Go and find him.
And violence, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I just wanted to know if it was violence in you. If there was retribution in you. That's all I wanted to know.
There's retribution in me when it's a man, 1,000%.
cool,
When it's a woman,
cool.
it's different. But
That's fine.
I think that's certain things are obvious to me that don't need to be said out loud. I think
Yeah.
that's
There's
pretty
no
obvious.
woman burning something that I love.
Yeah, that's you.
Entire studio get burned down, and I'm just letting her walk free because
What
impossible.
What are you doing?
She is going to jail. Impossible.
Yeah. But that's what I was talking about. The whole, would you make her some way pay for this? You know what I'm saying?
But he said no. So I definitely, she has to pay for it. Sorry. Impossible.
Yeah.
But remember the scale
No,
of the
no.
studio, bro.
Wait, hold on.
So that's why I mentioned the Jordans. I said,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
No,
to
but
you.
wait. But you said Jordans off the own back of your head. No one mentioned Jordans to you.
No, I know you love Jordans.
I don't love Jordans like that. You parallel Jordans to your studio. If a girl burnt my house down, that's different than burning my Jordans. That's completely. You're talking about trainers, right? If she burnt my house down, of course I'm calling the police. My Jordans, no. Your studio and Jordans aren't comparable items.
I see possessions that you paid for.
Okay, but
you
but you compared trainers to your whole studio.
Only because I love my studio. I
don't love Jordans like that.
I mentioned vinyls with him.
I don't love Jordans like that.
All right, cool. What do you love like that?
That's your own assumption.
What do you love like
My
that?
life. That's what I love, my life.
Big Bang you. All right. So to kind of wrap up here, what's your advice? Would you tell her to? Yeah.
She's asked us to indulge in her,
Yes,
right? So my advice would be not to get revenge because I'm not an advocate of revenge, but let's indulge her in it. Yeah, whatever he loves, yeah, whatever he holds close to his heart, go and attack that. There you go. That's my advice.
Cool. Esther?
I would say the same thing, to be honest. Whatever it is, however obviously you know your partner, whatever it is that you can hurt him with, go for that.
Okay.
That's how it goes, sis. But make sure you definitely want to leave him because that'd be very awkward if you do all of that.
Yeah, man.
And you're trying to beg him to stay with you.
Gin and gist, it's fine to agree with me. You don't have to hide your face. Once I agree with Yusuf, oh my God, fine to hide. Like, you can agree with me. No, all right, I'm a sound individual.
Oh, man. All right, cool.
All right. Let's get into our next headlines.
All right, people. So it looks like the government is trying to claw back money from anywhere. As you know, it's a tough situation we're all facing right now. But listen to this. A man thought he'd been pranked when he got a letter from the government asking him to repay, guess how much? 2 pence. Yes, but it was real. So basically, Damien Dove has labelled the Department of Work and Pensions ridiculous after they threatened further action if he didn't pay it back. The 53-year-old accepted a housing benefit for 1 week when he was on low income and claiming part rent more than 3 years ago. It's the only time he's ever claimed the benefit, so he was taken aback to get the letter from the DWP on August 29th about the old overpayment. The security guard from West Rainton and Sunderland said, "I thought it was a joke until I contacted them. It would have cost them more to send me out the letter. They were quite serious about it over the phone, and it says in the letter that further action will now be taken if I don't pay." Damien suggested the money be taken out of his tax, but will be going down to the bank with a check for 2p after claiming the response he got was that he owed a bill and so he needed to pay it. He said it just surprised me when I opened the letter and I was asking, are these people having a laugh? I've never known anyone getting a letter demanding 2p. It's just ridiculous. I think it's pathetic. I've worked all my life near enough, apart from a few months, and basically I'm getting penalised for collecting a benefit for 1 week. A spokesperson from the Department of Work and Pensions said this was a debt owing to Mr. Dove's local authority. Regulations require us to recover such debts when requested to do so, and the automated nature of our systems, the notification was generated without agent input.
To be fair, though, if everyone owes them 2p, it adds up.
This is it.
So,
it sounds crazy, but yeah, man.
The fact that there was no actually human agent present,
yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but would they have written it off though?
If he came,
because if you write off 2p here, what amount stops being petty to write off? 2p here, 10p there, 15p, 50p, all of that. If you put it all together, it all adds up.
Yeah.
It makes a significant amount. So I don't think they would have written it off anyway.
But some people do though, especially if they, because every certain amount of years, maybe I'm not sure if it's every year or whatever.
Yeah.
They look at people's overpayments and stuff, and they say to themselves, "This hair is not being paid, or it's so old. This person doesn't know about the debt, or like, is it worth us finding where they are because they've moved their address like 2 or 3 times already?
Yeah,
let's just write it off. You know what I'm saying? And usually that's more than 2p. You know what I'm saying? So they could have done that, but like the representative said, it was an automated letter. That happens all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Which they automated a letter saying they owe me money more than 2p.
Did he ask for them to take it out of his
tax?
His tax.
And they said,
but that's, but it's long, and plus the money is not
What's
owed
long?
to,
Them taking out of his tax?
Yeah.
Why is that long?
It's not owed to HMRC. It's owed to your local authority.
You're a friend.
It's completely different.
You can transfer, you can wire it.
But for 2p, imagine I'm
He's got to
emailing
write-
someone and this person has to go do
Listen.
this and
He's got to waste a check page writing out 2 pence. You can speak to HMRC, your friend over there, and you can get the money from them.
he could have walked to. I don't know where he lives, but he could have gone to his local authority, to that council right there, and paid in their what do you call it, accounting office with that 2p coin. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't want to go there.
Yeah, that's funny, man. Yeah, because it would have cost me more money going there.
Yeah.
£3. How much is buses now? £3.50. If you only need the one and back. Big up your money, man. This was in TP.
Wait. How much are buses?
It's more. It's like 155 now, 160, I think.
Serious?
Yeah. It's crazy. But then what did Sadiq Khan say? I think you get to ride unlimited in an hour.
That guy just talks, man. The other day, I don't even know why. He just reminded me of his nonsense. Like yesterday, I think it was, I saw a post talking about how he wants, because of the rent's going up.
Yeah.
He's demanding basically we try and look at freezing rent prices,
Okay.
which is ridiculous.
Freezing rent prices.
Yeah, so that you can't allow it to go above a certain.
Yeah, why is that bad?
Because then, imagine now you're a landlord. You got 10 properties.
I'm not a landlord, so I'm speaking from tenant's point of view.
Because I've seen a lot of people saying that
about?
the money is going up. And it's going up by a lot as well.
But
So,
he's not thinking about the economic implications of this. So, for example, now, like I was saying, you're landlords now. You've got 10 properties, and you usually charge, I don't know, £1,000. You want to take it up now, right? People need to remember you're only a landlord because you care about your income. That's it. You're not trying to house everyone. You're not trying to save homelessness.
Yeah.
You are trying to make income. If you're telling me that I can't charge above this amount, and I'm looking at my outgoings, there's been changes to legislation about owning certain properties. All the buy-to-lets are expensive. I can't claim this now as expenses now. All this type of other crap, yeah?
Mhm.
And I'm seeing my profit margins are down to this.
Yeah,
I'm going to
but
sell the property. And what happens
if you
next?
can, it's a living crisis out here. You can't sell it because what landlords are
Of
doing
course
at the
you
moment.
can. People are
No,
buying
but
properties.
What landlords are doing at the moment, yeah, is putting up people's price rents.
Mhm.
But people can't afford it because their salary hasn't gone up, but the cost of living has gone up.
I understand.
I don't think it's a nice thing.
No, but still, freezing rents is ridiculous because, again, like I'm saying, if I'm selling a property,
Yeah.
I'm selling it to you, for example, first time buyer, let's just say.
Yeah.
Are you using that house to house people who need accommodation? No, you're doing it for yourself. So those people who need accommodation are still looking. But now there's less properties.
Well, get your money up, not your funny up, landlords.
Yeah, but you're here fighting for the landlords. You need to fight for the people.
Yeah, you are.
No.
conservative.
I'm fighting for both sides.
Yeah.
I'm just basically saying, let's figure out a better way because you're going to hurt the economy this way. Private
The
enterprises.
economy's already hurt.
Yeah, but you don't
and so
want
are
to
the
make it
tenants.
worse.
The tenants are really hurting.
You don't want to make it worse and also have loads of homeless people. You know what I'm saying? Government, find some money from all the other places you're wasting it and pay the landlord their money. Because you ain't building properties fast enough.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I see
It's
it.
a bit of a tricky one.
It's not tricky to me.
Of course it's not. But I think it's because the cost of living is going up and energy bills, all that kind of stuff is going up.
Mhm.
Tenants, and then in addition to that, tenants' rents, that's it. Tenants' rents going up as well. Where are they supposed to get the money from? Their salary ain't going up.
So if the landlords don't raise rent and everybody is complaining, and some people are even striking because they want that particular.
But landlords,
Not landlords. We
Tenants.
heard about the real people.
Oh, yeah.
The school people. They're looking for extra because of the cost of living.
Yeah.
Do you understand? If the landlords don't do that and raise rent, they're going to suffer.
who's going to suffer?
The landlords.
Yeah.
Then,
They are also human beings.
But
that's great, but they need to get
Sorry,
the
Brent.
union going then.
Sorry, Brent, but this is the problem. The average person doesn't think about landlords.
Yeah, I know.
They don't think about business expenses.
Yeah, I know.
And this is the problem. Like in the group, people say that I'm not for the people. Listen, understand economics.
He ain't people. He ain't.
You're just
damn.
talking. If you
Yeah,
understand basic
it's a bit
economics,
nonsense. It's
you
a bit
understand. You know what I'm saying. The landlords are people like everybody else.
And so are the tenants.
Yes, and let's find a better way to
Because
solve
you're gonna have people
All right,
homeless
what's
when
the
they
better
can't
way?
afford the rent.
I would say
Give me a way where I can pay less, they can charge more.
I can pay less.
I can
You're
pay
gonna
less,
stress
they
your
can charge more.
landlord.
Show me the way.
Okay. by the government, instead of wasting money on certain things, using that money to actually build properties like they've been saying they will, and then you can get your subsidized rent. Landlords can charge people who want to be in private accommodation and can pay that money.
But isn't the government building places?
Not fast
but they're
enough.
just
Not fast enough.
But they're building it and they're making it proper expensive because it's in the whole,
No, they're not. Not for council tenants and people in housing.
Is it?
Associations. Yeah, no, it's always subsidized.
But then I'm always seeing houses like flats and stuff being built. Who owns those?
That's again. This is private organizations building properties for profit. But
who do they buy the land from?
Probably the council and stuff, innit? But they allocate.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, but they allocate a certain amount of their properties to the council. That's how it works. Otherwise, the council won't give them the license.
All I'm saying is that if we wanted to really come out of this cost of living crisis, we could. The government have the answer, but they're not doing it. I actually believe that. Wow.
Do you guys ever want to have your own portfolio of properties in an ideal world when money is long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why would you guys want that?
I want to house homeless people. I told you guys. I'm doing a rehabilitation centre.
Listen, I'm talking about where I am now, innit? So when this argument is for me, in regards to being a landlord, I'll speak to it then. Right now, I'm a tenant. So let me speak as a tenant.
Again, like people, like they need to understand how the ripple effects of these things, man. It affects the economy in wider scales, man.
I even saw. Oh crap! Let me try and find it quickly. Where Quajo, the housing guy, was talking about his friend someone he knows went to visit a house in Brixton, and it's like 2,000. I don't know if it was like 1 bed or 2 beds, and it was 2,250. There we go. So my friend just told me their nephew went to view a 2-bed property in Brixton that was put up this morning. £2,250 a month it costs. And the landlord, and then there's 29 other people who booked a viewing too. The landlord has said everyone can now bid against each other, and the highest bidder will be able to rent the property. You for that too?
Sorry, say that one more time.
So basically, there's a 2-bed property in Brixton.
Okay.
It was listed for £2,250 per month.
Yeah.
Mad, but anyway, that's what it is. There was 29 other people that went to view it as well.
Yeah.
The landlord has said, you know what? Bidding war.
Yeah.
Whoever bids the highest money gets to have this.
100%. What other way should we do it? 100%. I don't understand. I, as a landlord, should take less money when someone's willing to pay.
You don't have to take less money. We don't have to be flipping greedy.
It's not greedy.
It is. What? You're asking people to, because you know what it is. Obviously, everyone needs their apartment. Yeah. It could go up to £6,000.
But the person's willing to pay it. Yeah, okay. You have to understand everything in life works this way. Everything.
Supply and demand.
Every single thing, like your phone, your when you get your nails done, everything is done based on prices, and prices are an indicator of what people want. If people don't want it, the prices will drop.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think that's morally wrong. I think that's unethical. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm not here for greed and trying to exploit other people to get more money when we're in a situation where most people anyway are going through some kind of living crisis. That's so inhumane. I know people personally who live in their homes, and the landlord said to them, "Oh, the cost of living is crazy right now. I'm adding £1,000 to your rent. This is real life story. I'm adding £1,000 to your rent. Has £1,000 been added to my salary? How am I going to afford this? Right, so I'm not buying your. I'm not buying this one.
Can I ask you a simple question, right? Say that
I'm
person.
I'm invested on this.
Okay, you guys, simple question, right? It's 2.5. It's 2.5, yeah. 2.5. Let's just say 2.5.
Okay.
And it goes up to 6K, or let's just say 5K.
Okay.
And it's a bidding war. You can pay the 5K.
Yeah.
You're not happy about it.
Yeah.
But because of the 29 people bidding and you need someone to stay, 5K you're gonna pay me. Yeah. Right? Cool. Now, that's £5,000 going into my pocket.
Okay.
Cool. I make my profit. I'm happy. Cool. You're somewhat happy, but you are happy because you got the place, right? Yeah. Now, flip the scenario. I'm forced to charge you 2.5. Okay. What happens to that extra £2,500 that you could have paid me? What happens to that?
The reason why you were charging me 2.5 is because you were going to make a profit anyway.
No. Don't go to somewhere else.
No. You guys have to do that in this room. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm with you. No, I'm saying that. But you're saying as if you charging. The reason why the government said they're going to do a freeze cap. So government didn't say every apartment must go for £1,000. He said whatever it is that you're charging now, which you as a landlord would have worked out, you make profit from. To keep it there. So I'm not going anywhere but where we are.
Around us is going up. We know this.
Okay.
My expenses are going up.
Your expenses are going up, but
for my property is going up.
Okay.
My mortgage prices are going up.
Okay.
Everything's going up.
And
electricity's going up.
Okay, yeah.
Everything's going up.
And me as a tenant as well.
Yeah.
everything around me is going up as well.
Yeah, so why is it okay for it to stop for you and increase for me?
I'm not saying that as a landlord you should be. I don't know why you're laughing that hard. I'm not saying as a landlord you should be at a loss.
Yeah,
but don't get to the point where it's like you're because landlords are not consulting their tenants like, okay, so how's the living cost going for you? They're just straight putting up. People can't afford these things. The homelessness that you're saying is gonna be that you mentioned earlier. There's gonna be homelessness if people can't flip and afford the rent and they have to move out of places.
Yeah, but you're penalizing the wrong people.
No, I'm not. Okay,
No,
we're gonna agree to disagree.
Because wait. The last thing I want to say is, remember, landlords are doing this off their own back. They're not asking the government for money. It's their own back. They've worked hard or whatever they've done to get the money, and they're providing a service to people. Like, you're now asking them to take less of that to help you. The government is taking your taxes and spending it on rubbish. Absolute rubbish. They should be the ones to supplement the thingy, not the landlord. Why should I lose out when I'm providing the service? Build more properties, and people like yourself, not you personally, but people like yourself can go and rent those properties.
And what would happen in the end is those landlords will have to sell. If they keep the rents the same, they will have to sell their property, and then the person who buys it, but they'll kick you out because you're not making a rent.
I've got a statement that I want you to address. E-Man is such a free market fundamentalist.
Yeah.
That he doesn't recognize the system isn't working. Poor economics.
No. It's not poor economics. Poor economics is where you rely on the government for all this type of stuff. I'm more the free market, Austrian, Chicago school. I'm not for the Keynesian socialist stuff. That stuff doesn't work long term. We need long-term solutions. You know what I'm saying? You can't penalize people who, through incentives, are making the economy boom. You know what I'm saying? Without these people, there's nothing. Government doesn't have money. The government has your money. That's it. You know what I'm saying? One last thing I would say is, basic economics for whoever is talking about basic economics over there. Yeah? Adam Smith said what? It's not out of the benevolence of the butcher or the baker that you get your meat and your bread. It's out of self-interest. Everything you have is because somebody wants a profit. If you take that away from people, you will not have what you want. That's how the market works. Have that in your mind and you'll realize what I'm talking about.
I'm going to call you young black Rishi.
Young black what?
Rishi Sunaga.
And Night Stark is throwing tomatoes at you. Images.
Boo. Night Stark.
Boo, basically.
Maybe Night Stark don't understand economics. You know what I'm saying? But again, we can agree to disagree.
He's going to send a voice chat because you're chatting absolute BS.
Right,
Even with the landlords, if landlords start spiking up prices, the cost of living is as it is. Long term, can people actually afford that?
Sorry, say that last one.
Like long term, is this sustainable? If landlords are putting up the prices, the people's salaries and stuff is not going up, cost of living is going up, but landlords keep hijacking the prices. Long term, is that actually sustainable? Because people can't afford the housing.
Yeah, but
on the market.
Night Stark, call in.
It'll come to a point where the things will start to balance. You know what I'm saying? But the more you intervene in a particular situation, trying to do good, right? A lot of the time as human beings, because we can't see and analyze every single factor that's affecting our current situation, we sometimes get things wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to say. And history has proven this. You know what I'm saying? It's proven this. Every time governments intervene in situations trying to make things better, a lot of the time they just don't get it right. And all I'm saying, this is one of those cases. People need homes. You know what I'm saying? So let's make homes. Let's not penalize people who are providing homes.
I don't know, man. I've seen people post stuff with their landlords where their landlords said, I understand this is going on, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Just to let you know, I'm gonna make something work where I can, where you're not adversely affected.
Yeah, and that's
good.
I
think a lot of people should do that. I think if you're stacking it up because you're only thinking about what it is that you're going through, you get to a point where you don't have a tenant because you're all the cost.
Oh my
people
goodness.
will not be able to afford it.
Esther, you are right. You'll get to the point where what? You will not have a tenant. And what will you be forced to do?
Drop the...
That's it. That's how the market works.
Yeah.
You have to.
It's stupid.
It's not stupid. It will do what you just said.
Because if you're going to get to that point, why don't we just save that now?
Because it doesn't work that way. Nothing works that way. It's like saying, I want to get to Peckham. Let me just disappear and appear there. There's a journey.
If I go to Peckham in a bicycle and I get there and I meet someone else who got here in a car and they said to me, my journey took me 30 minutes. I said, oh, really? I've been cycling for 3 hours. But then at the start of my journey, someone said, would you like to come in my car? I said, no, I could cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I could have saved myself some time and cycled from the start.
You could have, but it depends on what else you want.
In the car.
But it depends on what else you want out of the journey. That person who's for example, if you're both gym goers, for example, that person in the car got there 30 minutes, no cardio. You got 3 hours of cardio.
All I'm saying, anyways, landlords are greedy, and you guys are, and you and Brent are capitalists and Marxists. So yeah,
I'm not a Marxist.
Free Mandela, man.
You guys might as well be. You guys are making me.
Marcus Garvey and them, man.
Marcus Garvey was a capitalist.
I don't think that all landlords are the same.
Not at all.
You two are.
I believe that
you two as landlords will be the same. You guys is gonna be ridiculous.
Let's look for our contracts again, man.
You know,
I have to.
Something fishy happening
guys,
right now. Yeah.
Guys, you know what the thing
I
is, right?
believe that one day you're going to be
We've been had.
enough, Esther, to have many properties where you're going to be a good landlord.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you aren't going to do this.
Because I have a
But
heart.
again, the nature in which it is that this particular conversation is going is that there are many landlords who don't share that particular goodwill.
And we know that, but you two are acting like you're the landlords that don't share that will with us because you're sticking up.
There are landlords who have good intentions, but they wouldn't be able to feed their families if it is that they just follow
Also,
this particular thing.
Brent, put the number in the group, please.
They will have no. Anyway,
yeah, man.
The number?
Yeah,
all the best all parties involved. That's all I can say.
What's it called? Is it Night Stock?
Yeah.
Night Stock. If you put a number in, I beg you call in so you can have this chat with E-Man.
Andrew, you're making the scene, man. That's the S's on Smoke to get Deji back. Listen, y'all, I don't date guests. I don't date.
Did you catch Deji on the A406 then?
I did actually.
You
Stupid. I actually could not believe that.
No, that comment made my weekend. That
No,
comment.
it made my weekend. I couldn't believe it. I kept telling everybody. I was like, could you imagine? Could you
That
believe
comment
what they
was
said
too
about
funny.
me? Guys are so rude.
All right, we're just waiting for Night Stock to call in.
Is he going to call in?
Night Stock, we're waiting for you, sir.
I could have read the number right.
The numbers there.
075. Oh no, it's delayed anyway. Never mind. It's in the chat.
Yeah, it's in the chat. We want to hear your take on this.
Chijoke said, so come on, E-Man. The world, I hope you can hear this, E-Man. The world needs to be homeless for rents to go down first. What are we doing? Brent, you want to talk for your fellow mind mate?
No, I think a lot of us are speaking because we are paying extortionate prices for our accommodation.
Yep.
So we're feeling it. So we're
Yep.
speaking through our emotive tongues. But there are people on the other end.
That we don't care about.
This is it. Thank you.
I don't know, man. I just think that there's more ways to do things. People are literally doubling up and tripling up their rents. And you're going to tell me because the economy is bad. But the economy is bad for me too. I can't afford that. If I could afford that, I would not be living here.
Honestly, even before this whole cost of living narrative that's being spun everywhere, there have been absolutely demonic landlords that have been like upping prices left, right, and center. But you still have people in those particular. Look at London. Look at London. The difference between living in London and living outside London. You know the prices are disgusting. You understand that there are people out there trying to make a killing because they've purchased this house in this particular place in order for a particular reason. We know this exists, but there are also landlords who are out there just to house homeless people.
Yeah, but you know what it is?
I hear that.
I just think that,
But if they start making
why
a
you
loss,
point at me when you said homeless
if they
people?
start making a, this is your point. If they start making a loss, right, and it starts affecting how they can basically feed their family, what are they supposed to do? That's a knock-on effect. Man.
Also, Night Stock said he's at the gym, so he can't call him.
All right.
You did all that, after all that.
People just need to understand a bit more and see things outside of their circle. That's what it is, man. Like I'm not here advocating for greedy landlords.
You sure?
I'm not about greed. I'm about self-interest. There's a very big difference. Self-interest makes the world go round.
Yeah, but then the person, when I gave you the example of the landlord that said everyone should bid for it,
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
that's greed. That's not self-interest.
It's not greed. Okay,
It
so
is
how should I
greed.
choose? 29 people. How do I choose?
You would
First come,
obviously
first
look at
serve?
no, you look at people's income, who you reckon can afford this.
All of them
long-term,
can.
all
That's
that
why
kind of
they're
stuff.
here.
Not
All of
necessarily.
them
People, not necessarily. People be viewing stuff and,
Okay.
not necessarily.
It's-
But all I'm saying to you,
Yeah,
self-interest and greed, the line is so thin between them
it really isn't.
that you're in the balance.
Greed
yeah.
is about, I guess, doing something completely for yourself and you don't mind it being detrimental to other people. Self-interest is about pursuing something for your betterment. And by doing that, there's a service that you're providing for other people. This is why I gave you that quote. You only have what you have today because somebody is seeking a profit. That's how life is.
The thing is, yeah, if the economy was great and the landlord just decided to put the rent up and someone can't afford it, like, you know what, okay, I can't afford it, I'm going to go elsewhere, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But literally every single day, it is reported how, like, what people are dealing with.
Yeah.
People are literally having to budget food and budget all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And as a landlord, you think, yeah, I'm just going to put the money up.
No, but yeah, I think you also need to understand that landlords, again, I'm not talking about greedy
I'm
landlords.
not saying they don't have family. I'm not saying they don't have to budget as well, whatever. But I'm sure there's like, there's a way, there's some kind of sensibility that can come into you putting the money up.
But again, that's not right. Like you can't look at things. Again, I'm not talking for greedy landlords. I'm talking about a sensible landlord who's providing a service, right? You have to remember, it's not just a case of, I just want to raise prices. Everything around that landlord is going up. Gas bills, electricity bills, water bills, licenses to even have the property. There's so many different regulations that come with a cost to the landlord that nobody thinks about because they're not what? Landlords. And what happens is the profit margin, the very reason I bought this property, right, and provide this 4-bedroom house to 4 different tenants, the very reason I did this in the beginning, the profit margin is going down. That will make him say, I could put my money elsewhere. You know what? Let me buy Bitcoin. You know what? Let me invest in, I don't know, in Yusuf. Anything, right? And what happens is that property will now be bought by somebody else. You now have 4 rooms not available to homeless people. You need to understand this. And so what I'm saying is the government needs to put something in place to give them the money they deserve. Because at the end of the day, they deserve it. They're the only one providing the service. The government should provide the service.
The government is not even giving nurses and stuff who risked their lives during COVID and stuff.
Because they're wasting money
So
elsewhere. They are wasting money. Look how much money has gone to so many different things. It's a
the
waste.
Looking to basically find money to pay nurses.
Exactly.
That's why we need
And so
to
in
get
what
this
world would they
government
look for money to pay landlords?
out. The landlords, for the Conservative government, are more valuable than the nurses.
Anyway, I'm tired.
We need to kick them out.
I'm gonna wait for the headline where we get landlords complaining about lack of tenants, and that day I would laugh like David laughed at his enemies.
The thing is, you won't laugh. Do you know why? Because we use the prices as a scale. The landlord will say, you know what? I'll sell it. It's that simple.
Not you telling me what I'm gonna do again. This is the second man today.
No, the reason why I'm telling you, you won't laugh. It's not because I know what you're gonna do, but because I know the situation won't happen. That's basically what I'm saying. You won't have the opportunity to laugh.
Boy, all the best of parties involved. In all honesty.
Let's campaign for the government to help these people.
Yeah, people that have been campaigning all this time, nothing's come from it.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to penalize the average person as well. It's not right. Anyway,
Tenants is also an average person, but yeah.
Yes, but it doesn't make it right to hurt 2 average people. The government is doing this.
So it's better for one average person to hurt the other because they'll be fine.
No, they're both not hurting each other. I'm not talking about greedy ones here. They're both trying to get by. They're both trying to survive. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like, anyway, it's fine. Let's carry on.
All right. Anyway, the next headline is someone's been sacked from Starbucks for
It's not a
landlord. Oh my gosh. Anyway, staff at roughly 220 Starbucks stores across the US have voted to unionize, making unexpectedly successful inroads at the popular chain of coffee shops. But the movement is facing a precarious moment as the economy slows. And the company mounts a furious response. A lady named Jocelyn had worked for Starbucks for nearly 7 years when the company fired her last month. She said she'd been waiting for the decision, though she liked her job as a barrister, which gave her flexibility to care for her young niece. This winter, the 28-year-old had tried to rally her co-workers in New York to join a labor union, frustrated by the company's stance on sick leave during the pandemic. Soon after, she says her boss started punishing her for infractions overlooked in others, like arriving a few minutes late for her 5:30 a.m. shift. When she misplaced her key to the store in July, it appeared to be the last straw, even though she told her manager immediately, and also even though the key was ultimately found inside the shop. On her notice of separation, Starbucks cited a pattern of tardiness and the key incident. But Jocelyn, who had worked for Starbucks since 2015 and was a shift supervisor earning more than $22 an hour, says it was definitely some type of retaliation. I've never seen anyone be fired for being under 5 minutes late. Union organisers say Jocelyn's clash was part of a national crackdown in which more than 75 union activists have been fired, and some stores closed as the company, which has touted itself as a progressive workplace, tries to stop the labour movement troubling its ranks. Starbucks, which owns nearly 9,000 stores in the US and licenses thousands more, denies retaliation. The firm says it respects workers' rights to organise and close stores based on safety records. So yeah, that's the last headline. It seems obviously everyone's frustrated, man. Everyone's frustrated. I don't blame him, man.
What's it called? Transfer me £1 for my rent, please.
How you hold your phone like you got the details right there?
Nah, man, you've been teaching, man. Give me some money for my rent, man.
Alright, I'll contact the government.
Yeah, that's safe, man.
Don't contact the government. You've been waiting on that for forever. That is so funny, man. All right, okay. Well, no thoughts on that? No?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I think everyone's wilding.
So do you think she was unduly removed from her job?
Of course she was, and they wanted to try and avoid a lawsuit by saying it's you lost the keys, because I can't like when she said she lost the key, I said if someone you could get squatters in there, like ma'am. But when she said the key was found inside, but that's what workplaces do. When you start doing stuff, they think this one looks like she's about to come out of line, out of this line they've created.
Yep.
They try and find a way to bring you back into the line, and they make up petty reasons, but like, oh, you're a woman late. You're this late. Like, it's like very, very petty stuff.
Would you do the same thing if you were Starbucks?
What? Fire her?
Yeah.
For trying to start a union?
Well, she's not starting it herself, but she's trying to get more people to rally and be part
No, because that's a lawsuit. Like, I would make her manager.
No, but
honestly, I make her manager. Let me see her rally up people as a manager now. There's a way to play these games.
But how many managers can you have? You can't have 10 staff and 9 of them are
No,
managers.
but she's the one. She's the one who's getting the people in. When she becomes manager and she realizes, the same privileges here, that these other people, all of a sudden now she's not talking about the meetings anymore. All of a sudden now, it's not that. When someone's gonna...
I love you. I really, really, really love you.
You mean? I love you too.
Yeah, you say stuff and then the questions pop in my head. Yusuf and Esther, let's just say everybody in your house, your HMO, let's say you live in an HMO and you share this place with 5 other people. Let's say everybody else's rent gets put up, but yours doesn't.
Yeah.
Are you guys complaining?
If they're complaining to me about their rent being put up, I complain. I stand for the people.
Hold on, who are these people?
Your housemates.
Oh, I live in a shared accommodation with strangers. Yeah. And their rent has gone up. And mine hasn't. Why?
Yeah. Why? It's none of my business.
Why is
none of my business.
Because the landlord likes you.
Then that's my own. That's my own grace.
All right. How about you, Esther?
It depends. Are they if they decide to fight for it and my voice will help them be stronger, I might consider it.
And also, how much is it going to buy?
Let's say doubles.
What? That's insane.
Let's say doubles.
Doubles?
Yes. And if it is that you join this union that Esther's leading, yours might double as well. Because you're not telling the landlord, hey, I don't like the fact that you treated me differently than the rest of them.
Listen.
I'll be honest with you. I'll use my perks.
Listen.
I'll talk to the landlord behind you guys' back.
Obviously, no. Obviously, I'll speak to the landlord. I'm not going to be like, okay, I'm nice. I'll speak to the landlord, of course. But me and him are parlaying now. I'm in his good books. I'm trying to self-preservation.
Yeah. And also, how do they know my rent?
And if I'm living in a shelter accommodation with 5 people, I'm not flourishing in life. So I got to take my wins where I can get them.
I'll be honest with you. I think what I would do...
I'm living with 5 strangers. I'm down bad. I'm in the mud. Are you telling me I should... Fuck off.
You're actually ridiculous. You're so ridiculous. Now, I've been in situations where I've benefited and other people around me haven't benefited and they've been aware that they haven't benefited and I've tried to help them get benefits. In that kind of situation, if me and I don't know good books, not because I'm sleeping from anything, I will probably have a word with landlord and be like, oh.
I love how you put that in.
I have to. I was going to say landlord if I had to. I would have a word and talk and, see what really and truly, I'll be honest with you though. If I'm benefiting something, you think if I was in this room and I had the best shares, I'm telling anybody, you would never know. I will be complaining with them about, about the raised rent. And then when they say, do you know what? Let's find out. I'm like, do you know what, guys? I don't really want to get involved.
I'll pretend as well.
I'm like,
I'm like, what? What? Yours too? Nah, he's taking a fucking piss. He's having a fucking laugh, ain't he?
Let's get confronted. Like,
He's having a fucking laugh, ain't he?
I don't want to confront him. But you know what, guys? I'll be honest with you. It is what it is. Like you said, I'm down bad. I live with 4 of you guys. I don't know y'all.
Yeah, like.
Do you know what, guys? I'll leave it.
That sounds like self-interest.
I heard him say something.
What? Of course it's self-interest. I don't know you niggas.
That's exactly
different.
what I'm.
That's
Now it's different.
Now, let me tell you why it's been different.
How is it different?
Because the power's been given to me. I'm not the power holder.
Wait. Do you think you've caught me out
What are you
here?
talking about?
No. I'm not catching no one out.
I ain't behind you, Rumble.
I said what I said.
So you said what you said.
It's not about catching anyone out.
You haven't caught me out either.
It's not about catching anyone out. It's about the principle. I'm saying. Why is it okay here and not over there?
Because again, I've told you, I don't hold the power. I don't hold the power. Brent, your laugh is pissing me off.
Pissing me off.
I don't hold the power. This is a very different scenario.
All right.
I don't hold the power in this situation. I am just a poor little girl.
Yeah, no. If you ask someone, why have you increased their rent and not mine? Oh, because you've been with me the longest. You're the most polite. Whatever. I like you. All right, thank you.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
What, do you expect me to say no? Doubled mine as well. Is that what you want to say?
Ain't no way.
Or take 100 off each of theirs and put it onto me or something.
Impossible.
Like,
I'm crying.
no.
Not at all.
Ain't no way.
I'm basically just saying the self-interest part is what pushes society. That extra money now in your pocket allows you to do other things.
Yeah, but
not extra
isn't
money,
self-interest on the landlord's
extra money.
It's not extra money if I haven't spent it, man.
No,
it's like when people go to shops and they're like, oh, it's an offer. I'm saving money. You don't save money that you haven't spent yet. And my rent is what it is. My income and whatever money I have left is still the same. Everyone else has gone blah blah. But it's not extra money in my pocket because it never went up for it to decrease for it to be extra money.
No, but this is why. No shots at you, please. I'm not saying
it's fine. I've been taking bullets today.
No, but I'm just saying this is why people don't have an understanding of economics, because people don't get the opportunity to miss what was never built. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like a lot of the time, for example, say the government, for example, I don't know, spend X amount of money on a particular thing, right? You can't really complain about certain things because you don't know that you missed out on a bridge. You don't know that you missed out on congestion charge being scrapped. You don't know these type of things. But if you did know, you'd be upset about what they're spending the money on. So what I'm trying to say is, even though you're not seeing that as extra, you need to start seeing that as extra, because that money that would have gone to the landlord is now in your pocket because you wasn't going to leave. You know what I'm saying? But that extra £500 is now in your pocket. You get what I'm saying?
Is this kind of like here when you go to shops, the tax is included.
Yes.
So when you buy something, you buy them with tax. In America, you pay for the tax at the till on top.
Yeah.
So here you don't know that. Oh, I've actually bought an item, but I've actually paid so and so tax on top.
Yeah, something like that. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right.
I mean, first time I went to New York. First time I went to New York, I went to McDonald's. I saw the meal cost. Let's say it cost $5.99. I'm like, yeah, got my $5.99 out. So that'll be $5.99 plus $2 tax. I said, huh? Plus $2. Why don't you just put the tax there?
Just put it there.
Tell me at the till that I got to pay $2 extra. It's annoying.
That's crazy. You have to tip them in McDonald's as well.
Tip them who?
Tip
in McDonald's.
In America you tip.
No,
is that just like proper sit down restaurant?
Yeah, sit down.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, they hate you.
You know, in America, tipping is a proper thing. Like,
that's how they make the majority of the money.
Oh my goodness.
They pay
but it's starting to happen in Europe though. It's starting to happen in
Yeah, for real.
When I went to Santorini, everyone that came over with the card machine, if you like to add any extra tip, just press yes.
Oh my
Why you say like that?
I don't know.
But even some restaurants here as well, isn't it? It's got that option.
Yeah.
They always show it to you first.
Yeah. And me, I'm the, sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. But my girlfriend's like, come on, man, I don't. I'm like, are you paying for this? Go on.
You got tip money?
No, she'll probably be egging me, you, so have you got cash on you? We got to tip that waiter, man, because he's been really, really nice.
Who's we? The thing is, I don't mind tipping cash. I don't like to tip card because everybody gets it. And you were rude to me when I walked in. You get nothing. So I'd rather tip like cash.
Yeah, cash, exactly. That's my excuse that rolls off my tongue if they ask.
Yeah.
If they ask.
I remember I was in Shaka Zulu one time. It's a couple of years back now. And I was like, can you take off the thing you charge
Yeah.
here?
You're ridiculous.
I'm not gonna lie. If it's already there, it's there, innit?
Nah, it's not there
For me
for
to-
me.
It better like I can't see it.
For me to say, by the way, take off the thing, I feel a bit bad. But if they say, do you want to add it? Then I'm
Yeah.
hitting that no button.
This is how they get you.
Hit that no
Have
button.
you seen like a lot of restaurants though? Now they have it like in bold.
Mm.
What is that font in my office?
Calligraphy.
No.
What?
It's Calibri.
Oh, yeah.
It's proper clear as day. Tables with more than 4 people.
Yeah.
A discretionary 12.5%. Or even sometimes it's 2 people. They just put it on there like, by the way, it comes, you have to tip.
They're forcing you to do this. It's not right. That's basically like the government, by the way. They force you to pay extra tax.
That's fine. Kind of like landlords with forcing tenants to pay extra money.
But watch this now. If that money wasn't forced, maybe you guys will give a bigger tip.
Wouldn't.
Perhaps. I'm just saying.
Even would you?
But you have the choice.
I live
I'm
with
different.
5 strangers, man. There's no money for tips.
I'm down the worst, mate.
You know, the lady went and told the manager. The manager came over to me, asked me, is there anything wrong with the meal? And I said, no.
Yeah, because
fine.
they expect it.
Yeah.
So when you don't pay it,
exactly.
there must be
Something's
something wrong.
happening.
Yeah,
Let me go
exactly.
over and check. Sir, was your meal okay?
Mhm.
You're like, yeah, everything's fine. And you're thinking, but you took the tip off.
Exactly. It was
Okay.
splendid.
Because I'm broke, nigga.
I think I told you she was Spanish food. All right. That's crazy, man. All right. Okay, let's get into our outro. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Can I just say as well, just a disclaimer to the listeners, we can disagree, not respect people's not respect, but not like people's opinions and all sorts, but it's always love in this room, regardless of how
Straight.
Yeah,
Brent
100%.
asks
Man.
Yeah.
100%.
and Yusuf dictates to me. It's always great. Well, no, honestly, like that's really how we are in here. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in live. Shout out our live crew. We appreciate all of you guys. Appreciate your questions. Appreciate the engagement and the liking of the videos. I don't think the maths is mathing still,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just my opinion. But do follow us on all our social media platforms. The day after TNB. Comment, share, like our videos. If you would like to send voice notes or text messages in, send it to 075 6484 1073. We told you guys already, join the community. community.thenewblack.com. Do it right now. When this live ends, do it. Okay? Just join. It's going to be in the description box as well. Join our community on Monday. Is it Monday, Brent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Monday we've got more information for you guys on our personal TDA community, but you have to join the New Black community to join the TDA one. So let's get that going. If you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, email the team the day after at thenewblack.com. Have a lovely
And also
Tuesday.
we got a surprise tomorrow, innit?
We might have a surprise tomorrow.
Do you have a surprise tomorrow?
We might have a surprise.
We might have a
tomorrow.
Oh, it's
surprise.
turned into a mic.
It's a mic. Yes, a mic.
It's always been a might.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you
I
said
thought a definite surprise.
No, we can't do that.
Okay.
But
fair enough.
turn up like it is a surprise.
All right.
It's more likely a surprise than not.
It's more likely,
Yeah,
but there's a
I'll
small
say.
chance that it's not a surprise.
It's a surprise. But okay, yeah, we definitely have a surprise for you guys tomorrow. So be here, be square,
Yeah.
and we'll see you guys.
It's
Tomorrow.
Dammy in India basically coming on the show. Oh,
Basically, okay, cat's out the bag. Cat's out the
So
bag.
we're basically got Dammy in India tomorrow from Love Island.
Yeah,
Make sure you tune in. It's gonna be sick one.
and they're here from the start as well.
Yeah, tell all your friends.
Yeah.
We tried our hardest. We really grinded this
we
one out.
really
So yeah.
did. We really did.
What's the joint name?
Damia.
Damia. So yeah, we got Damia tomorrow. So
Yeah, from the morning, as in they're here with the entire show, all the
Yeah.
headlines, everything. With
I'm
us.
gonna grill Dammy.
We got
I'm
words.
gonna grill him.
But yeah, guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay blessed.
All right, peace.
And yes, Ebony Onyx in September, you can come on to discuss sickle cell.
Oh yes,
Until after your wedding.
I told you guys she was getting married. I
Priorities
told
are
you guys.
messed up over there. What?
Sorry?
Huh?
What's messed up?
Your priorities. Every
I told you Ebony's getting married, man.
But why have we got our invite? I don't understand.
She don't want Cheryl coming over there talking about polygyny in front of her new husband
So she can come to TDA's event
or partner.
and we can go to her event.
Can you imagine?
She didn't say she was a community. We said we're the community.
Listen,
So
is this like when you told us Margs had a wig? No.
Cut
They're
the
coming
camera,
on. Like, Yeah, coming on. I don't know why you don't believe us. Look at me.
I don't like that. Sorry, I don't like that I've got the label of a liar on here. Like, it's so out of order.
It's your fault. It's like the boy who cried wolf. Now they don't know when we're telling the truth or not because of you.
So you got to tune in to find out. Welcome to the dark side.
We do not believe you guys. Why? Do you think Damien and India are hard to get or something?
But you know what's mad though?
They're black,
You
man.
said I didn't even
That means they're easy.
You know, like we're trying to get Jem and Luca.
I like that'll be hard. Like, you know, Davide and Ekansu, that's not believable. In the end, Dami is very believable.
Oh my gosh. All right, do you know what? Yeah, okay, this is it. Someone said, Margs, check his Instagram. All right, let's end the show.
Bye.
Oh, that is